Make sure it works. Yeah.
You end this stream on disc for me.
Yeah, I will. Okay. I need to make a separate scene. Maybe I'll just use my camera scene or something, just for when I'm loading the replays, so that people don't see how long the replays last.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They'll just have to look
Just
at my
take
face
the,
or something.
Yeah. Oh wait. So when you when you go to like click on it.
Yeah, when I go to load it up. I can change scenes to just my camera. I need to get like actual proper scenes and stuff set up. What's up, Love Snow 7?
Second what?
In the chat.
No matter what you do, Love Snow, you'll never be number one.
It's crazy, isn't
it? Got him.
What's up, Sony? Right, I'm just gonna give it like a couple minutes for a few people to filter in before we start. Disappointed Love Snow didn't play. Even I played, and I had no desire to play, but just for the sake of the tournament, I feel like I should put a game out there. Nomad tricked me, man. I'm blaming Nomad for my poor performance. Spoiler, by the way. I'll spoil my own. I'll spoil my own because I've had like 4 spoiled for me already. It's only fair. Alright, for the sake of the video, you want to go ahead and explain what Primal League is, more or less? No?
Did you ask me? I thought you said you were going to, sorry.
Oh, I can. I was asking you, yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, Primal League is just like an in-house tournament in the Primal Discord that we came up with. It's a $300 prize pool, and the design of it was try to just make it as fun as possible. So all the matches are randomized every round, so there's no bracket. We started with 24 players. We did a round robin down to 16 players, and that's what this is going to be, these casts. And then when we get to the finals, it's a $300 prize pool. I always forget it's ultimate battle style. So all 5 games are going to get played, and every time someone wins a game in the best of 5 finals, they win $60, I guess. And all the maps are randomized from the ladder pool, and then we remove the map the map that was played, the round before. So first map on the round robin was Polypoid, then that got removed, and then Pantheon was the next randomly chosen map.
All right. So yeah, we're gonna be casting, like you said, the entire round of 8 here, or not round of 8, round of 16. It's gonna be 8 games. It's gonna be 7 games because we had 1 walkover, courtesy of Love Snow. So we'll be casting 7 best of 1s here. And the thing about best of 1s, right? The thought process being that in a best of 1, it really like a lot of players can be players that they wouldn't normally be able to beat, right? Like you can do something crazy, someone can have like a little bit of an off game or something like that, and then someone that should win doesn't necessarily win and make it through. So it's all more or less for fun. And I say more or less because there's a lot of money on the line at the end, so everybody that lost is still going to be a little bit bitter, hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah, and everyone in the Discord is capable of taking a game off of everyone else.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
we do have some like really, really good players in here, like Hawk, but Hawk is playing random. He's been
Mhm.
playing random this whole time. And then, like I said, everybody in this tournament could take a game off anybody else. So
And how many players did we start off with again? Was it
20,
24?
24, yeah, and then we round robin down to here.
Yeah, we did a round robin of what was it? 4 groups, I think. And then we kept like the top 4 and the bottom 2 are out, so that's how we ended up in this round. But all right, let's go and get started. The first game is going to be Exit versus Semi. Yeah, Hawk's playing random.
Yeah, Hawk's a good sport. He's obviously the best player in the Discord, and then when we asked him to play, he was originally like, nah, I don't really think it's fair. And then I said, come on, Hawk. He's like, all right, I'll play random. So props to Hawk for
He's got a good attitude.
being respectful. Yeah, because even at random, he still has a really good shot here. So let's see. Exit starting in top right, Semi bottom left. Good spawns for Semi. This map is super Terran favored in this matchup, but at least cross spawns is decent for Protoss compared to the horizontal or vertical. Those pathways on the horizontal and vertical spawns are so easy for Terran to push down. It's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing. By being cross-spawn, it actually negates a large amount of the Terran favoring. I feel like when it's cross spawns, it goes from like massively Terran favored to not even Terran favored. I feel like.
Wolfix is saying that it's Protoss propaganda that this map is Terran favored. Not sure about that, Wolf. This is like
Consider banning this. That's crazy.
I think this map is probably worse than Citadel for Protoss, honestly.
I kind of feel that way too. The pushing down the like sides into Protoss is so hard for Protoss.
Okay, looks like a forward gate from Semi. That's kind of his style. Like he often opens Zealot, or he used to do like a lot of regular 12 Nexus, like the 2 gate variation, but now I see him do a lot of the Forge Nexus first, but he pretty much only opens Zealot or Nexus first. Never really see him go for like a 23 Nexus or a 29 Nexus or anything like that.
Yeah, like never. I've never seen him do 29 Nexus.
Yeah, he's gonna go double Zealot cross spawn here too. Not the best for him.
Yeah, a little bit less than ideal for Semi. He does a lot of this though because one thing that Semi does do really really well, I feel like, is his early game micro is pretty insane. His like probe Zealot micro is pretty much S tier. So I think that's why he's like so comfortable doing this so often, because he's just good at it, right?
Yeah, him and Nomad both have insanely good Zealot probe micro, and they're also really both good throughout the entire game. They're neither of them are like one-trick ponies, right? All the Protoss players that made it into the round of 16 here like that. We get like Ranged and Semi and Nomad, G5. They're all like really capable Protoss players, not one-trick ponies.
You know what's really surprising is how many Protoss players made it out of the round robin, huh? Isn't that crazy?
That's pretty crazy. I thought Protoss was the weakest race. Anyways, Exit opening totally standard. He's probably just gonna do. Oh, okay. He saw the Zealot, so he's gonna throw down the bunker first. I wonder if he's even gonna make the third depot, or if he's just gonna try to do kind of like what Light does, and make the CC without the third depot. The Zealot's just gonna walk right by, probably.
Yeah, well, if you're making the bunker, you don't want to make the extra depot, right? That's kind of the.
Yeah.
But he's making the extra marine already, so gonna have to take a hit somewhere. Ultra on the way. It just means our Nexus or our CC is gonna be really late. At this point, I feel like it's better just to make the depot now so you can continue SCV production. Or do you disagree?
Yeah, you should minimize the replay progress, by the way.
Oh yeah.
In here, yeah. Looks like we got the. Sorry, I didn't hear your question because I was thinking about what Love Snow was saying there. Looks like he got an eBay block, maybe 2. for a second. I thought I saw something go down.
Yeah, he's got the
Um,
block.
yeah, I mean, I think the 4th Marine is good if you're just planning on losing your scouting SCV anyways, right? May as well make the fourth Marine, and then you could still make your CC on 24 supply. So,
Are you being serious? Or are you trolling?
I mean, I'm kind of trolling, but that's what happened here. So,
Yeah,
but he
making sure.
really forgot the depot here. Like he made machine shop before depot,
Yeah, this
so
depo's
he's
gonna
gonna
be
have a
really
pretty
late.
hard supply block and not be able to make a second vulture, which is kind of a big deal actually. This supply block is infinity. Okay, we already got 1 probe, 2. Like I think it's not worth it to sack your first vulture for 2 probes, personally, because you get rid of that threat that you have on the map that keeps a goon home, and especially when you're gonna go mines. Yeah, it's
Yeah, I was actually thinking what Wolfix was saying. I think the only reason you do that is because he's been supply blocked for so long. He feels like he should be doing something like trade it for something so he can go back to making units. I think that was what he was thinking, but I 100% agree. Like, killing just a couple probes is not worth the vulture. You want the mines. You want to force them to have to wait for observer before they're comfortable moving out on the map. Because now with that vulture
yeah,
being dead, like look at this, Semi gets to walk straight across the map.
yep,
And now
yep.
the amount of comfort you feel as Protoss by having these goons out here is it's actually really, really important.
Yeah, I mean, the supply block really had him behind in workers, right? So at least he's caught up in workers a little bit by killing those 2 probes. But like we said, I just still don't think it's worth it. I think it's way better to have the mines on the map and have the threat of that vulture on the map, especially because we went mines and now we have nothing. We're going double academy here. I mean,
He's flustered.
yeah, absolutely. The opening kind of went awry for him. Um, there's no way he's putting down barracks at the bottom of his base right now, is he?
No.
Okay, no, that's a floating EB. I thought he was gonna throw down a bunch of barracks and go stim in range at the same time or something. Just like the
I,
timing wouldn't make any sense.
I've
But
never seen Exit do anything like that before.
yeah, I thought we were watching First Law for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just put on a little pressure. Ooh, the
Good
mine
mine hit.
hit. That's pretty juicy. He should keep pushing here. I mean, he got some pretty good damage on 2 goons. Let's see if he rallies vultures and keeps putting on pressure.
I think it's a bit
Yeah,
risky
that
though.
was
The problem with continuing to push is yes, there's a couple low goons, but once it gets to like 6, 7, 8 goons, right, which we're kind of getting there, we're at 7 now.
yeah.
You're just gonna get completely crushed.
Yeah, now that you have, and he's went 3 gate goon. I mean, he's just, it's definitely too much, like you were saying.
Yeah, I mean he is gonna get up on this high ground and get these tank or goons, but he actually targeted the healthier ones first,
Yeah.
so all the damage on the goons
Yeah.
didn't even matter.
Yeah, that's pretty unfortunate that I think he only got 3 goons there. Definitely not worth it. And the follow-up is double academy. That definitely was supposed to be an armory. And he still hasn't noticed. He doesn't have his second gas. I mean, kind of a lot of things are out of whack for exit right here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well at least he can build 1 scanner per academy right now.
At least he didn't block his comsat with both the academies at the same time.
That's true. I've actually seen people block their comsats with Academy. It's the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen a player do.
Academy is 150 minerals and no gas, Ray. Looks like the game is just about to be over here. We got nothing in the bunker. We have 1 tank, but it's not on high ground. We have an observer over the cliff. And this is probably just GG.
Yeah, a bit of a... Just... It looked like Exit maybe a bit flustered, a little bit out of it. Makes some pretty basic mistakes this game.
Yeah. Well, that's unfortunate for exit, but Semi is kind of a favorite for that that round, so I'm not shocked.
Here, you guys are gonna have to look at my face between rounds because I don't want you guys seeing the replay length. Even though I did not turn off the timer last time. And this is backwards. Hang on. Hang on a second.
Yeah, the next match is going to be Wolfix versus Worst, which is actually going to be pretty exciting.
I'll be right back. Give me 1 minute, guys.
Yeah, Wolfix probably the best Terran in the Discord and in the league, And Worst is also a really good Protoss. He's like a solid 2100 Protoss player. And I think they've played a lot, so it should be interesting. When did Bill Burr get so handsome? Oh my god. Yeah, Ozzy notoriously casts shirtless, pantless, in a Speedo, trying to get subs. Hasn't been working. Yeah, Semi is the only one that can play 10% as much as he talks and still be S rank, so. What up, Goose? Good to see you, man.
Okay, here. All right, what are we all talking about here?
We're talking about how you cast in a Speedo to increase your sub rate.
Oh, it's true. I do stuff like that all the time, for sure.
You had to run and go put clothes on.
How do I want to flip my thing? My thing like flipped back over. Is it this? Yeah. This feels more comfortable to me. Alright, hang on. So I just wanted to do this so you guys don't see the replay timer as I'm loading them here. And I don't actually have a waiting screen. So we're doing Wolfix versus Worst next.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Well, we know the replay length, guys.
I didn't actually look,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Get some popcorn, boys. Get some popcorn.
Was it long?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's long.
Yeah, what's with the spoilers, man?
Yep.
I'll have to cut that out now.
Worst, you know I can't help myself, dude. All right. So
I could, I guess, turn my webcam on for bottom right to cover it in case I forget, because sometimes I forget. I do this quite often.
yeah, yellow versus yellow here. Wolfix in bottom left, Worst in bottom right. Really good spawns for Wolfix. I know he doesn't think so, but
Yeah.
it's so easy to push on these spawns on this map because you have that narrow corridor. I feel like it's impossible for Protoss to stop it unless they have Storm or something.
Well, I'm interested to see why Wolfix is complaining about this map. So I think we're gonna find out this game what his problem is. Maybe
Yeah,
we'll.
he's already calling it garbage spawns. So
I just find it interesting that probably the best Terran in the Discord right now is complaining about how this map is bad when literally every other Terran in this Discord loves this map, PvP.
well, to be honest, you're not a real Terran player if you don't complain about Terran favored maps.
Ah, that's true,
I
that's
mean,
true, that's true.
If you play Terran and you don't complain about the advantages that your race has, then you're just not a Terran player. Just that's what it comes down to.
Yeah. I think that is actually my problem and probably yours as well. We're coming from Protoss. And so like we're happy with all the things we see as Terran players now.
Oh yeah, I mean I'm not known for complaining at all. That
Yeah,
is,
you're one of the
that is one thing I do not do.
Exactly. You're one of the
I
few
know a
people I've
Terran-
ever met that just genuinely enjoys the game.
I know a Terran favorite map when I see one though, and I'm convinced the last 2 seasons that the maps have been incredibly Terran favored. So, and this is definitely one of them. I think it's more Terran favored than Citadel. So we'll have to see what
I agree.
Wolfix gripes about here. He probably sieged some tanks late and then lost them all and then blamed it on the map or something.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, you know what it is. He's probably gonna be like, he's upset that you can't build on the high ground here. That's probably the
Yeah.
complaint.
oh, worst. I talk about this all the time, man.
Imagine if you could just
Uh,
stick like a barracks here or something. Like that would be so unbelievably broken.
yeah, or just even if you could put like a turret there, with just one spot to put a turret, it would be insane.
Yeah.
Um, but you know, this is good because Wolf that spawns like, well, I don't know what better players would think. I would think that's a good expansion to take towards Protoss here.
Oh.
Super easy to defend, and then you can take your mineral only on the back end.
Well, Vulpix with
Because it doesn't
a 234 factory, so already like being completely thrown off by the map.
clearly. uh,
Yeah, in my game against Medino, I got a 227 factory off of a 12 gas. I was like really proud of that.
yeah, people are all about the factory timings and the
I don't think
boosting
it
these
necessarily
days.
matters that much. Like it does in some situations, but it's like a little mini game that you get to play in the beginning of the game. I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that it makes a difference. I mean, a vulture getting out on the map 5 seconds sooner is kind of huge when you're talking about 10 seconds to get across the map.
Yeah,
And
especially if
you
it's
get there 5 seconds earlier or something. It's if you're trying to bum rush a Nexus or something, it's a
yeah,
big deal.
exactly. So we went single Marine. Goon's gonna come in here and chase this Marine back, and this is already gonna be very annoying for Wolfix. Might be able to get this bunker up though in time. Yeah, he's gonna be able to get it up. It's annoying. We lose one SCV, but it's fine. We don't even lose the second Marine or the one Marine because we walked it back. It's pretty good decision from Wolfix to walk away with a Marine. Vulture's gonna get out, only take a couple hits, so it's annoying, but it's not that bad for Wolfix right now. CC's actually gonna be a bit faster than worst.
Yeah, going for a wow, a pretty quick second factory. Probably going. I have to imagine he's gonna do like a 3-tank push or something here. Don't really see Wolfix play this way that often, so I'd be curious to see what he does.
Yeah. Anytime you're referring to Wolfix, it's good to be curious or talk about curiosity. Sent the SUV
He
on the
does
map
have.
to repair the Vulture. I actually do things like that too. I think it's really important and underused.
Yeah, I was just talking about this the other day. I feel like the shield battery should be able to regenerate the health on Protoss buildings.
That's
I don't
StarCraft
know
2.
why. I don't know why it can't. You know, so that way you could like heal your Nexus and stuff during a 12 Nex bust, or versus Zerg, you could heal your cannons when they're trying to bust you with the 973. It seems like you know, you should be able to logically, you know, with the way the
Yeah,
shield battery is designed.
yeah, based on lore. They do a lot of things based on lore. I will say, before I go on this little tangent, we do have a DT drop that's coming in, so worst being typical Protoss scumbag gonna do.
Copying the Muni build here that I used to clap Artosis. Worst taking some notes out of my book here. This is actually one of my favorite PVT builds. So the best used to do it all the time back in the day, and then you go 2 base arbiter and usually go up to like 5 gates on 2 base, and it's actually kind of unpushable.
Well, that's why this
From
build is
Terran.
so strong, right? You can't counter push it. And it is unironically a macro build from Protoss. It can under some circumstances instantly win the game, and then it has a really good transition and you're safe. Like, it's actually just a very strong build.
Wolfix has like really good turret placement here, as long as the DTs don't get dropped on the turret, you know, and he loses it. He's got the ones. I mean, the one in his natural is really good for DTs and for a DT drop, and the one in his main is obviously really good too. So he probably knows, or okay, that did a lot more damage. I did not think it was going to reach the back like that, but
Could potentially kill siege mode here.
he doesn't know. Now he knows it's DTs, so all we have to do is guard our turret. We lose a DT for free right off the bat.
Okay, well,
Oh wow,
that's
we're just gonna throw the DTs and the shuttle. Did the shuttle make it out, or did it die too?
It's right
okay,
here.
it's here. Definitely not good for worse.
Yeah. Yeah, there was potential for a little bit more damage. We did at least force a transfer, I guess, because he was worried about Weaver. And I actually would have
losing this
just,
shuttle.
yeah, at this point, like, the
Yeah.
shuttle can't get out, so the best thing you could hope to do from here was just leave it here for scouting. But there were Goliath
Yeah.
building anyway, so it wasn't going to matter.
Now Wolfix can just go take a third on location. Gonna try to maybe do some mines and bust in the natural here. Looks like he can't get into the natural and get any probes, but
He did go
he should be
for
able to.
pretty
Yeah,
fast
go ahead.
observers right after that. You usually don't see quick observers follow up to the BT drop, or at least sometimes you don't.
Yeah, kind of surprising. It looks like Worse is trying to take a third already. He's floating a lot of minerals. He really should just throw down gateways in macro here, especially since his drop did nothing. He doesn't have the shuttle. Taking a third's kind of crazy. Not sure if that's actually what he's trying to do or not, but Wolfix is not making a third CC anywhere. It looks like he's adding a bunch of factories. Okay, just
going
gonna
up to
go for the 5 fact.
Yeah, I'm curious as to why he didn't go for the third on location, because he's one of the people that tells me all the time that the response would be, if you defend it well, just take a third on location.
Yeah, I watched a Jin video a long time ago with Flash, and that's what Flash said in the video, and I've always lived by that since then. But now, you know, like the +1 5 fact, you know, you make the Goliath with range, and so that old school 5 fact where you didn't get the Goliath, the DTs and the shuttle were such a threat to the push. But now that you make Goliath, you know, you can snipe the shuttle, so it's much more pushable with this new meta that Terran uses. Wow.
He is going to get this position too, which is this is part of what I feel like makes this map so Terran favorite. Is it becomes very hard. You can't realistically attack up this, and right now he doesn't know how much army is here. He's going to catch these 2 tanks though, which is really nice.
Yep.
And now this position is super breakable, so he's going to try to get up to high ground just to try and get like as good a trading as he can.
Yeah, probably just gonna try to focus down the Nexus here, sniping the Observer, good scan. It's got some vultures on the other side here. But I think that we're gonna save this, man. We got a lot of stuff coming. He's gonna go at the same time here. Yeah, leg speed is done. Arbiter's on the way. This was kind of a little too fast from Wolf. Looks like a bunch of vultures are gonna sneak into the natural.
Well, actually,
Indeed
I like what
are.
Wolfix was trying to do. It's just getting those tanks caught there and not seeing the goons swinging across.
Getting like, wow, that gateway. That was a really good. That could have done way more damage.
Well,
That was a really good block by Worst. That could have really went out of control. A few vultures in the main and a few vultures in the natural could have done a lot of damage.
Yeah, very good reaction from Worst.
But Wolfix is up on SCVs. Despite what Primal thinks, this is not good for Protoss.
I would say that Worst is winning right now. He's even supply. Well, okay, we're up 20 supply now with 8 less workers, so Primal 100% would tell you that Worst is winning.
Yeah, yeah. But still, I mean, I like. What is Wolfix doing in his base? Like, is he just gonna? So.
We're not really advancing any. We don't have starport on the way. We don't have. Okay, there's the starport now.
It's the map. It's gotta be.
It's 100% the map. I think he was really gonna. I think he was planning on putting a lot into this, and I really feel like it actually would have been very, very strong. It's just he didn't see the kind of rotation from the goons and getting those tanks caught, because if he secures this position, right, he gets tanks up and everything, and he's got this high ground. He's got this. The game actually could have just ended, right? He denies his base, and then it's 2 base versus 2 base, and I think from there it's just unplayable for Worst. So I understand what the idea was from Wolfix. He just got caught off guard by the goon rotation.
Yeah. Now he can't really do anything until he gets Vessel. It looks like he's setting up to take his mineral only, which I'm kind of surprised by. I'd think he would take the 6 o'clock expansion.
Yeah, the only reason I think...
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I'm trying to think about why you wouldn't, right? It is, like, very vulnerable to, like, recall, but I guess it's not any more vulnerable than here. What?
Yeah, you naturally protect your other bases from recalls. It's easier to defend, too. Like, it's easier to defend your natural and that expansion than it is to defend your natural and the mineral only at the same time.
Yeah, the more I'm looking at it, the more I'm agreeing. I think if a recall does get off here, it's so much harder because you're gonna be fighting uphill. Whereas if he gets a recall off here, you're gonna have the uphill at least, and it's gonna be much closer to your rallies. But I'm sure he has his reasons. There's always a thought process with Wolfix. We'll have to ask him later what he was thinking, but yeah, we're gonna take this as our third.
I just remember actually talking with Wolfix about this specifically on this map while we were watching flash replays, and he had determined that it is better to take the other expansion because it's easier to defend. So I'd be curious to hear why he did that. Maybe it's because the arbiters, and he just feels like he wants to protect his main more from recalls.
If I had to
I'm
guess,
not 100% sure.
if I had to guess, it's because the map has him thrown off.
Yeah, that, or maybe because his push didn't work and he didn't think he could,
It's just not a good
expand
map.
towards the Protoss or something. So, but Wolfix is really good at one thing, which you can see on the map right now. Everything's mined up. Vultures are on patrol, checking all the bases. He's such a big advocate for staying on top of this stuff in this matchup, and you really have to be. It's super annoying for Protoss to lose their probe, and you put mines up there, and they got to walk like goons and observers up there, and then they're going, and you can try to snipe their probe when it's on the way. So
Yeah,
it's a really strong move. And how many games have we all lost as Terran players because the Protoss takes both the corners and you just didn't have a vulture or mines there to know about it?
Yeah, and it's the other way around, right? Like you deny that expansion like 2 or 3 times, and suddenly Protoss starts falling really, really behind what they should be at. We do have recall defense set up here already at this base. It might be a stasis play. I think that's what we're looking around here. Or he might be trying to get into the main base here. Okay, so it is going to be stasis. Going to put 5 tanks on stasis here as we come in.
Wow, no vultures in the front here. Wolfix getting caught off guard. This is a lot of Protoss, man. I mean, the supplies are actually really close. Okay, Wolfix has got a lot of stuff in his main and a lot at his third. Worst kind of blocked himself in here a little bit. I'm curious to see if Wolfix is going to hold this. He can definitely siege some tanks from inside his main base. He has a lot of mines in his main, too. That's going to help him if Worst decides to run into his main.
This is part of the annoying... To me, this is the most annoying thing about playing against Arbiter, right? So he builds Arbiters, and you're like, let me set up all this recall defense for all 3 of my bases, and then he just comes to the front with stasis, and you got an army all over the place preparing for recalls. It's so hard to prepare for everything that you need to against Arbiter.
Yeah, that's a really good lesson for like Protoss players. If you have an observer, out on the Terran where their siege line is, and you notice they run all their vultures away, that's a really good time to attack. I've lost so many games from sending my vultures in to go mine bases, but if you don't mine your bases, then you're going to get recalled. So you got to find the balance as a Terran player to make sure that you're set up correctly. Wolfix didn't have enough mines in front of those tanks there when that attack happened.
Yeah, this is hard though, right? It's hard to be preparing for everything you need to be preparing for.
Wolfix has fallen down pretty far in supply. I mean, he was dead even with Worst, and now he's down, 50 supply.
Yeah.
Not looking good.
He does have a lot of money right now. Part of the issue with this map that I personally have, and I'm kind of seeing it now with Wolfix, is you just don't have a lot of space to build your factories and stuff. So even though he's got a bunch of money, his gas is really low, and he doesn't really have easy ways to fit factories in here.
So like he's already got 9 o'clock, or is that a floated building? Yeah, okay. He made another command center. A saving grace about this situation for Wolfix right now is that Worst doesn't have a corner. And it looks like Worst is setting up to take that.
We're gonna call it a 215. It's about 215.
Yeah, about 2:15. This map is so dumb, dude. It should be 2 o'clock, but they made it 2:15. Idiots. But yeah, I mean, the supplies aren't really looking good for Wolf. What are his upgrades right now?
1-1 right now. Do we just have one? Okay, 2 orbiters. Yeah, and they're both spinning. So +2 attacks almost done.
Okay.
But yeah, I do actually agree. The only issue I'm seeing right now for Worst is we're not growing enough while we're doing this. He got a really big lead off of that attack. That was like a really good trade. And he needs to transition that into like continuing his growth as well. Like after you crush a Terran army like that, there's nothing he could do to stop you from taking like another like 1 or 2 bases.
Yeah, Worst definitely not wanting to go to the late game versus Terran. But yeah, I mean, the corner would be much better here, or even I feel like he could have transitioned to carriers after an attack like that. Looks like he's going to try to recall again here. Wolfix is kind of set up here.
Oh,
Oh, wow. Losing the Arbiter. Not good.
not good.
Wow, Wolfix has lost a lot of SCVs in that engagement, too. Let's see if Wolfix can hold here. This is a much better defensive position. There's no Zealots.
Yeah, the Zealots are already
this is going to
gone.
melt. Yeah, +2 attack is probably done, too.
Yeah, a little
Yeah.
kind of a minor donation here from Worst, so that's actually going to give Wolfix a little bit of comfort now because we're mining on 4 base, albeit not super well, but we are on 4 bases. We pushed that army back. We know that he doesn't have a corner base yet, so it doesn't feel unplayable for Wolfix still, even though the supply is not that great. There is definitely some potential comeback here.
And Worst probably does not know about this this 9 o'clock base, so that's also a problem. Wolfix still not remaking his SCVs, but I guess he's only kind of on like 2.5 base mining. So, but yeah, this is okay now. Now that we lost that Arbiter and we had that kind of failed attack. I mean, a 140 supply Terran army with upgrades can hold max Protoss army.
Yeah. The only thing that's got me concerned that you pointed out multiple times now is SCV count, but that does actually mean, like, if you look at the SCV count, you realize how low it is, because this is like, what, maybe 40 SCVs, maybe even less.
It's 50 now.
Oh yeah, sorry, I can see it. Okay, so we're at 51 SCVs, so our army count is like really, really strong.
Yeah, it was in the 40s before you just checked there for a while.
Yeah.
He just got above 50, so. But yeah, I mean, Wolfix is going to have to grind this game out and split the map at this point. I mean, there's not really anything else he can do besides get his upgrades and try to split the map here versus Arbiter. And does now Worst looks like he's mixing in High Templars. Is he no fleet beacon or anything yet? Yeah, he really needs like another corner before he probably does something like that. But and I guarantee you, Wolfix is just going to grind the top left.
God, I was hearing shots and I could not find the recall. So we got a recall off here at 9 o'clock. But it doesn't look like it's going to get a... Well, it's going to clean up a lot of these vultures.
Exactly why this map is good. Like, you can put that tank on the other side of that wall there, and it kind of helps defend your base and that high ground and the back position as well. So, not really a great recall.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Worst, he recalled on top of... the counter to Dragoons with Mass Dragoons. Like, SCVs are literally created to counter Dragoons.
Yep, 100%. Looks like he's going to try to come up that ramp right there, Ozzy. That's...
Well, there's not much here set up right now, so...
Yeah, we'll see how this works. I mean, this is going to be a quick reinforcement from Wolf. Here he comes. But there's a science vessel above that base, too, so we'll see. But this is like a meat grinder, man.
Yeah, it's not great. He's going to try and get inside here, but we have a few mines set up. We are going to get a storm off and kill several SCVs, back down to 42 SCVs now. I mean, we're just going to make trades like this with his bank. You just got to kind of keep the pressure up, right? Like, keep the pressure up, keep macroing, keep growing, which he is starting to grow a bit. He still hasn't got a corner base. He's, like, really getting screwed by this mine and these vultures.
Yeah, he has like no gas either. I mean, he's probably just pumping out High Templars and double Arbiter nonstop right now. So yeah, he really needs another gas as well. Is he mining his gas like it is third? Oh yeah, he's got a lot of idle probes at his natural too. Yeah, only 2 probes at his third.
Yeah, mining. We got 2 mineral bases.
Yeah, he sends his idle probes out of his natural finally and making gateways at top right. Kind of surprised Wolfix is pushing here. I mean, that wasn't that bad of an attack from Worst, but he's gonna go for it. I think this is gonna get smacked.
Yeah, I think part of this push is because he's already got these mines set up here. You can kind of use preset mines like that to get into position and just already have it fortified. He might just be looking to try and trade, although at this point in the game... Well, he's gonna kill this base, which is actually kind of a big deal because Worst mining really isn't that strong. He's only on 58 probes right now. And what is it? We're at 5 base total with that base going down. Not even. We're at 4 bases. Or yeah, 5. Sorry.
EMP and Stasis casted at the same time. Stasis wins.
Yeah, of course. And the main thing about this is we're going to get up this ramp and kill these 2 probes so that we still can't build this Nexus.
Ben thinks the Terran player is not going to get to 200, 200, and 3-2.
We got the 3-2 part.
Yeah, I think Wolfix is going to grind this game out. He doesn't really have a choice.
Yeah. Man,
he's definitely going to grind his way to top left and split the map in this scenario. 6 o'clock is going to be kind of an issue. Like, Wolfix needs to get that base. I can't imagine Worst actually being able to take it because we can just siege it from the cliff on the other side, but laying some mines here, this is always super good to do if you're Terran. You should just be laying mines all over the entire map. How many vultures die without the mines being laid? They're such a good unit. Killing a bunch of probes. Not a huge deal at this stage in the game.
That's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, because we just got that other Nexus, I guess.
Yeah, we're not mining much. We're running really low and mining our bank's not that big. Losing our probes and having to rebuild probes right now is actually pretty painful. So we're going to transfer now from 6 o'clock. Or what, 5:15. We're going to transfer from 5:15. So we're not mining very much right now. His bank is actually getting very low. But Wolfix is going to need another base relatively soon. Well, I say that. We're mining so little, I guess we're not really on a big timer right now. Replay looks broken, I swear.
Yeah, well, he's gearing up for a big recall. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that bank from Worst really disappeared really fast.
Yeah.
He had a huge bank at one point and it just disappeared.
Yeah, something Primal's never able to do.
Yeah. Wolfix has just been like below 50 SCVs. Now we're down into the 30s ever since that first attack. But we haven't really been losing any tanks.
Yeah, Wolfix just kind of hanging in there right now. His economy is so weak, but like I mentioned, like his army supply is actually pretty much on par with Worst. Like he's down 60 supply, but that's what 30 of that's in SCVs right now. And he's just gonna sit here and defend a little bit longer. I mean, we still don't have a corner base, and Wolfix sees that. But we are, like I said, getting close to where we're gonna have to fix our economy relatively soon. But he's just continuing to grow and be efficient, defend, and yeah, I guess we'll see where this goes.
Yeah, that's the thing about Terran, man. The units are hyper efficient, especially with upgrades. You know, like the Protoss upgrades scale the worst in the game, and the Terran upgrades are so good. But at some point, if Wolfix grinds this to top left, I mean, Worst is gonna have to go carriers or something. Because so far the recall defense from Wolfix has actually been quite good.
Yeah, gonna get up
Finally
here.
taking the top right base.
Really wanted to kill that zealot with these two vultures.
Worst like repopulated his probe count really quickly.
Yeah.
He's already back at 71. Looks like he's gonna try to recall the natural or something maybe here. It's gonna get spotted by mines if Wolfix is paying attention.
Yeah, well, it's easy to replace your probes when you have 7 nexuses.
He's not going to be able to make it into the main, so he's going to have to recall in the natural, which is never good. It's too easy to defend. He's going to lose the Arbiter.
Yeah, I actually don't hate the scouting Arbiter. It's not bad.
You can always use recall to clear mines like Moonrai instead of making observers.
Yeah,
a known strategy.
You recall an Arbiter with recall and a few units to clear the mines, and then you recall again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You just recall like 4 zealots, and then once the mines are gone, you recall again. Wolfix gonna push. 165 supply, 3-3. He's got what, 20 tanks?
His army supply is big, and he has, like you said, 3-3. A lot of tanks here, so we'll see if this push can get anything done. I mean, if he clears the top side, then suddenly Worst is also gonna be broke.
Yeah, you know, we all talk about this a lot, like us Terran players. This is the hardest part for all of us, you know. Controlling the Terran army is the hardest part. You know, you watch, like, you get units like this and you put it in a pro's hand and they will win the game. You got to do this, like, really slow and calculated, and you can't siege your tanks in control groups. You got to kind of leapfrog them forward and do 2-3 at a time here and lay mines as you go. And It's
Yeah,
kind of a complicated process that demands like 100% of your attention. It's really like everything on your screen has to be focused here to do it correctly, because this army is stronger than the Protoss army, but you have to control it correctly, otherwise it's not.
right. And then for Protoss against this, right? Just the other side of it. If Terran is moving and controlling correctly, which so far Wolfix is moving very well, so there's no opportunity for Worse to engage. You're looking to do things like try and pick off units or create skirmishes to create a little bit of chaos so you can fight the army a bit more piecemeal, because if you fight this head-on, you're going to get absolutely obliterated and just lose the game outright. And like we said, the
Yeah,
SCV count from Wolfix is so low. His army is absolutely massive right now.
yeah, or you have to counter. You have to go refugee toss style and just
Exactly.
avoid
That's what I
fighting
mean,
the
like,
Terran army here.
for creating the skirmishes and stuff, counters is like a big part of it. Yeah, so he's going to go for this kind of recall counter attempt. He's going to get the recall off in the main.
It's a decent recall, you know. It's like he didn't land on top of the mines, and this is so annoying. But
You can't ignore this
you
as
know,
Wolfix because you're going to lose all your production.
yeah, there's no observer here, and we have like a lot of mines in the main base, so I think we can defend this with reinforcements and then keep pushing, which is looks like what Wolfix is gonna do.
Yeah, well,
Worst,
you can't bring everything back either, right? That's something that I hear quite often is when you get recalled, you can't bring your whole army back to defend. You need to send enough back to defend and then counter push.
yeah, which is hard to do because
very hard to do.
and realistically, Wolfix should be taking top left at the same time here as he's pushing to top right, but there's just so much going on. It's really hard to do. I'm really surprised Wolfix hasn't remade SCVs this game. He's still sitting at 40, which is actually kind of crazy.
I think the logic was that he wasn't expanding and didn't really have a way to expand easily. So he just went with the Zerg mining instead to make his bank or his mining last longer and just focus on being efficient with units.
Yeah. And this part here can get kind of tricky, I think, for Terran when you start splitting your tanks off like this and they're kind of isolated with no vultures. It's really easy for the Protoss player to like start sending zealots in and clearing these tanks. So we'll see if Wolfix is on top of that. I mean, where is that such a huge bank? It doesn't seem like he's spending his money.
Yeah. It's also hard when you're splitting tanks because it makes it where the DT trinkles from all the different angles become really, really powerful.
Okay, he's gonna recall on top of these tanks. This is such an underutilized move.
It is.
Now he has the high ground here. No wonder Wolfix hates this map. This is annoying for him now. He's gonna save that base, and he's still got the top right corner. And you know, Wolfix is so low on SCVs and nearly mined out. What is he on? Like 1.5 bases? His mineral only's got to be getting pretty. Oh wait, well he's barely been mining it. He's been saving it for later. But yeah, like he needs another base. He's like trying to win the game here with this push, but with the way his economy is set up, Worse can kind of like, he has such a big bank. He could lose a couple of these bases, and you know, if he kills the Terran army, Wolfix doesn't really have another base to rebuild all this.
Yeah. Yeah, and basically this is kind of exactly what we're talking about, right? Worse did a good job of like whittling him down. He went for the counter recall to create some chaos, and this like stops reinforcements. Right, we ended up recalling on some army here. We got units coming out here. As soon as like Wolfix starts getting like scattered, like I said, you try and fight it in piecemeal, and that's what Worse ended up doing to actually win this fight overall. Did lose a base, like you said. Did get his probe count mined out here, or cleared out here, but he can just rebuild. And the main thing that Worse should be focusing on at this point, I feel like, is just don't let Wolfix expand anymore. As we just need to stop expansions, and the game's over. Could go carriers as well, like you're saying. That's true. We do already have the 3 Stargates.
Yeah, 100%. This was not enough damage from Wolfix. Like
No.
now he's gonna take the top left and try to grind out a split map scenario, like I was saying from the beginning. But yeah, I mean, Worst absolutely could just go carriers or something here. I mean, Wolfix getting 1 base wasn't enough.
Yeah, definitely not.
Did the recall do any like serious infrastructure damage?
No,
like,
we didn't really kill anything. I think we killed 1
we're
factory.
still just sitting on 5 factories this whole game.
Sterling does it.
Wow. Yeah, well, if you're going to hang out on 40 SCVs, then I guess you can stay on 5 facts the whole game, but
Yeah.
not easy to do.
Big mine hit there.
This unsupported group of zealots isn't going to work. Yeah, okay. He's going to turn around. Smart move. Wonder where the goons are.
We made them.
There they are. We made some goons. Okay.
Dude, that Arbiter missed one of those shots, by the way.
The Arbiter shouldn't be able to attack. It honestly makes it such a worse unit. I've said that a million times. It would be so much stronger if it didn't attack.
You mean so that they stop killing themselves all the time?
Yeah, exactly. It's like if you fly, like for people who don't know what I'm talking about, if you fly like leave an idle science vessel, or a Zerg player leaves an idle defiler and it gets attacked, it runs away. And I mean, how many Arbiters die to a random turret or a random Goliath after it recalls because it tries to shoot it? If it didn't shoot and it just turned around, we'd lose a lot less Arbiters in this game.
This is not a breakable position, by the way. The tank spread from
No.
Wolfix is insane.
Yeah, the tank spread is really, really good.
I get a lot of
He's
stasis
gonna
here,
try
but I
to
mean,
attack it.
we created a wall here now. We can't actually
Yeah,
go up this ramp
this is-
anymore.
This is kind of like desperation, is what it looks like. Not wanting to play the game any longer from worst is what this is.
Yeah, we created a funnel for our Zealots to go through, so it's a bit of an anti-stasis.
Yeah, I know for a fact worst hates late game versus Terran. He hates the split map grind, like a lot of Protoss players do, because it looks like all Terran has to do is just kind of sit there and wait, which is like really frustrating to play against, like as Protoss. Because I think that like there's a misconception that the 3-3 mech is like super good in the late game in this matchup, and it's really good unless Protoss goes carriers. And so it can get really frustrating as Protoss if like the Terran player just grinds and turtles and defends really well, and your recalls don't work, and you're endlessly throwing waves of Protoss army into 3-3 mech, and it's just melting all the time. Like that's kind of where worst is right now, right? Like I've been throwing my army into this guy for 33 minutes and nothing's working. It's frustrating, and then people start to get impatient and make even more and more bad attacks because it is frustrating to play against. But here, you know, I think Worst should be going carriers. I'm kind of surprised that he hasn't yet. He's gone up to 80. Also, he's gone up to 83 probes. So if he's going to stay on this kind of a, I don't know the word I'm looking for. If he's going to stay with this type of unit grouping with gateway units and arbiters and storm, he's got way too many probes because his army supply is just so much lower.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and stasis some units here, but it's not gonna make this breakable. You might try to just swing up here and clear this bit of army, but I mean, we're gonna start getting split and pulled everywhere. It's gonna be another bad fight for Worst here, I think.
Yeah, his army's just not that big. He's almost got 90 probes. I mean, he's gonna get in here and do a little bit of work, but you know, Terran is so efficient here. Like, maybe we're gonna storm all these SCVs. That would actually be really strong right now. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna semi-break this position, so that's like kind of nice, but we're not gonna really get any damage. That's worth this, I think. And I know we keep harping on it. It's just I've been in this game state many times as Protoss, and it's just, you can't stay on like Arbiter Gateway tech anymore. It just gets too hard to break Terran, and Terran is so, Terran is so low on money that he would have an incredibly difficult time dealing with a massive carrier swap. He's basically on one base mining. He won't be able to pump enough Goliath to keep up with your carrier.
Yeah, and Worst has had the money to switch to carriers for a long time too. Like, after he lost that natural at top right, it would have been the perfect time for him to go carriers. And I've played Worst a lot, and normally he does go carriers. So I'm kind of surprised he hasn't, but
It's the map.
it's the map.
It's gotta be the
this
map.
map seems like it'd be fine for carriers.
I think it'd be a good carrier map.
Every map is good for carriers, in my opinion. I don't know what this whole thing about bad. The only thing that's bad about going carriers is if you don't get to 6. If you get scouted before you get 6 of them, then it sucks no matter what map. But if you get to like 6 and then you go up to 10 or 12, it's just...
There are some maps that I think are not good carrier maps. Like, I actually think Citadel is a bad carrier map.
Yeah, okay.
A lot of these maps that have like no air, like not much dead space, those are typically like pretty bad carrier maps.
Well, like Radion and stuff like that?
Yeah, well, Radion has a couple of spots, but yeah, Radion's not that great for it either, I think.
Yeah, like to me, I just feel like it's more about the number and the surprise factor than it is the map. I mean, obviously there was a lot of maps that were like hyper carrier favored, like Katrina or something, right? But still, if you can switch and, you know, put down like 6 or 8 Stargates and just get out like 8 to 12 carriers, they're so strong.
Yeah.
I mean, it is so frustrating to play against Arbiter style until you get to this position as Terran.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, it's a different kind of... Once all you're doing is just sitting here and splitting the map, and you know that you just need to split the map and you can win, it's not as bad, right? You just leave some tanks sieged here and there. You lay your mines. You get a lot of science vessels, and you leave everything else unsieged so you can respond like Wolfix is doing here.
Ooh.
I'd much rather be dealing with this. Yeah, that mine hit was awesome than a bunch of carriers. But Worth's just trying to get some work done here. Wolfix still on 41 SCVs, and Wolfix doing Worst a favor by killing 20 of his workers at the top right, or the top 12 o'clock mineral only. And I didn't notice when that base got killed either. I guess he pushed and killed bulls, but kind of some scrappy engagements going on through the map here. Worst has worked through most of his bank, and he just lost those other 2 bases, so Wolfix just being super efficient.
Yeah. I mean, it was very patient. Very, very patient play from Wolfix. Just kind of deciding he was going to play, like I said, with a Zerg economy and just focus on efficiency and kind of let Worst slowly grind himself out, basically. He was...
I mean, if you're only... Go ahead, sorry.
I was going to say, he was scanning for carriers. I was checking his scans quite often. He was checking, but... we're at 38 minutes at Tyser. He was checking for carriers, but kind of like what I said, it wouldn't have even mattered if he scanned the carriers earlier because he just had no units. No, like after that one push, right? When we're stopped that one push, that would have been a time that he could have transitioned, and there's nothing Wolfix could have done about it.
Yeah, to Hawk's point in the chat, like Worst has definitely not been stacking units in his gateways this whole game. I mean, there was a point in the game where he had like 6k minerals and 140 supply.
Yeah.
And I was watching, and like you said, I thought the replay might be broken because I didn't see that money just disappearing. So.
Yeah, I think it was some of that, like, and I know what that feeling is, like that flustered feeling of you're sitting there max, you have a bank, but you can't do anything. Like, it feels like there's nowhere to attack, there's nowhere to recall. Like, it's a very frustrating feeling as Toss. You can't fight the army head on, and you can't do anything. You know how it is.
Yeah, like we've talked about this with these guys a million times. You know, I know it's frustrating for Protoss to play this style versus late game Terran, and that's just why you got to go carriers. You just can't play this way versus 3-3 mech. I mean, if they're good at defending and splitting the map, then it's just not strong. I mean, these Terran units are so efficient, and Wolfix has been so efficient the whole game. It's hilarious to me that he's been on 40 SCVs since that first attack, and he's just been expanding as he mines out kind of slowly. I don't think I've ever seen him play this way. Like, Wolfix is usually always harping on everybody. Make SCVs, make SCVs, make SCVs, and
yeah,
this game he's just chilling like a Zerg player, I guess. Or playing like Moonrai, maybe. Is Moonrai playing on your account in this game, Wolfix? What's going on here?
It is interesting, actually, now that you got me thinking about it, that during this game, I have seen Wolfix do literally nothing that he's trying to teach us. And I'm starting to wonder if he's purposely trying to teach us to make mistakes. And just,
yeah, I think Wolfix is getting jealous of us, Ozzy.
He's trying to keep the Terran players down so he can stick to the whole Terran propaganda of Terran being the weakest race.
You know what it is? It's that I think Wolfix is planning on switching to Protoss. And he wants us to stay bad so he can smash us with his Protoss. That's got to be what it is.
It's the only explanation.
Yeah, so really, like, Wolfix is kind of now in, like, a pretty good position in this game because he's successfully split the map and he's killed, what, 2 of Worst expansions, and so...
He does have, like, no supply, though, to actually do anything right now.
But it's all army.
Yeah, it's a fair amount of army.
It's a fair amount of army.
But, I mean, look at... I mean, Worst is max and Wolfix is at 100. He can't actually push or do anything at the moment.
Yeah, true. But still, I mean, like...
But then again, what can Worst do, right?
And, yeah, because, like, with good defensive positioning and 3-3 upgrades, like, I think Wolfix can hold... like a full frontal attack like this.
I love how...
starts splitting these tanks. There's no mines laid down, though, which is a huge problem. But he's got tanks on the other side of this right here. 3 science vessels with some good EMPs and some rallied vultures, hopefully. He's definitely going to...
There's no way Worst can do anything. Isn't that crazy? Worst is here at double supply, and there's no way he could possibly break this position. Wolfix showing us, by the way, why this is such a bad Terran map, as he continues to use the ridges and bridges everywhere to set up tanks, completely out of range of Protoss.
Yeah, those doodads right there, like right in front of you, right there, are so strong on this map. It's ridiculous how much more easy they make it for Terran to control the map. If those weren't there, then it wouldn't be nearly as bad if that was all open, right? Like, if your base is at top left and you're Terran pushing through that corridor right there, that little choke is so crazy to push through as Protoss. So I just can't see how this map isn't super favored towards Terran. It's
Right.
so easy to defend and hold all these positions and also do timing attacks because the corridors.
Yeah, I actually, the more I look at this, the crazier it is to me. Like, how is Protoss supposed? Your only attack paths are going up this ramp with what, max supply and trying to like cram down this and come up this alleyway, or this little bitty opening here trying to slam 200 supply down that. Like, I actually,
Yeah,
you just can't. It just seems like you can't play Gateway on this map. It really doesn't seem like you
good
can.
EMP.
Yeah, it was
Good EMP,
huge.
getting all the High Templars and the Arbiter.
It's two
Really good from
arbiters.
Wolfix. Oh wow, 2 Arbiters stacked. Yeah, Protoss players, you gotta split those up. Like Terran players gotta split up their tanks. You can't leave them stacked like that.
Yeah, when I was playing Protoss, I made a point to always keep my arbiters on separate hotkeys. Like, never two
Yeah,
arbiters on the same hotkey.
yeah, that's true, Wolfix. That's your first EMP this game. Wow, we do have a lot of Arbiters split throughout the map here, but like Worst has kind of made it through most of his bank. Okay, there's still some minerals here. 6 o'clock is still fresh. There's no way Worst is ever going to get that base. Like,
No.
we just need a couple tanks on that high ground there and mine that up, and it's going to, like, we don't even really need to mine it yet. We can just stop Worst from taking it, and we're still okay here.
I'm surprised we never... I mean, maybe we will now fly a CC over, but I'm surprised we never flew any of our CCs after mining everything out.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised too. Like, well, just the whole way Wolfix has been playing this game, I've been kind of surprised. Just very low eco. He doesn't have a lot of recall defense over here, but I don't know about recalling right on top of all these tanks. Yeah. Okay, he got 2 Arbiters, but this is all the EMP'd Arbiters and High Templar, so we don't have any Stasis or Storm with this, so still pretty decent, like busting this base here. But Wolfix is gonna clean this up.
Yeah, I mean, he actually didn't lose any SCVs. I think he lost like 1 or 2.
Yeah, he had 41, I think, and now he's down to 40. He tried to do another recall, I think, on the outside of the top left base, but the turrets kind of fended it off there. There's an Arbiter right there. But yeah, I mean, Wolfix just needs to keep defending and get that mineral only and stop 6 o'clock from being taken, and then he can take it himself eventually. But it looks like Worst is just kind of getting desperate here. He's got a Dark Archon, which is like, okay. This Protoss army is going to do a nothing. Like I said, I think he's just frustrated and impatient with having to slam his army into this 3-3 mech for the last 45 minutes and nothing's working. And now he's just kind of getting more and more impatient.
Yeah, I think the reason we went for the Dark Archon was,
Oh, nice feedback.
yeah, he's using feedbacks now, but I think the original plan was to try and capture an SCV because he's starting to realize just how broken tanks are. So he thought maybe if he could get his own tanks, he could actually come back and win this game.
Yeah, imagine if he just made carriers like 20 minutes ago instead. I really think he's had at least 2 or 3 opportunities this game to do a carrier switch because Wolfix had some failed pushes and was going to be stuck for a while. But now, like, Wolfix is in a really good position. I mean, this is the closest the supplies have been in a while. And we're going to catch all this here for free, and we're probably going to kill the 12 o'clock base.
Yeah, and with that base going down, it's going to be just 1 base mining left for Worst. I mean, we're not even mining from this base yet anyway.
Yeah, we're going to lose some probes on the way up there probably. Okay, no. Going to save them. But I think that this is probably, like, Wolfix killing this base here. They both have a very similar bank, and supplies are positive for Wolfix. This is probably... This looks like a GG to me, that, like, Worst is probably about to... Because how is he... He's never going to stop that attack.
No, there's no way
is
of coming
doing.
back anymore. The game is over.
If Wolfix just sits there, then he... Like, Worst is never going to get the mineral only. Or the 12 o'clock base, and there's no way in hell that Worst is ever going to get 6 o'clock. So he's about to be completely mined out. And Wolfix is up, what, 25, 30 supply, so it's not looking good for Worst right now.
Yeah, he's dead. He's super dead.
Should have won carriers Worst. Hot tube versus mini tube. Glad you're back, Jinjin. I saw you streaming the other day, man.
Jinjin, I'm not glad you're back.
Dude, he's the only person that complains more than me. I need him. Every time someone calls me a complainer, I can say I'm not as bad as Jinjin. See, he's already going. Yeah, like we were saying, I mean, at this point, I mean, worse can't really do anything. I mean, this is also just because of this map right here too. Like now that Wolfix has decided to take this position, which he kind of just waited until he needed it, right? There's no way worse can get any of these bases, and he's about to be totally mined out, and he's lower supply than Wolf, so. I imagine that he's going to try to, like, it looks like maybe he's going to go try to clear the mines and free up the 6 o'clock base with his army outside of his natural. Transferring all of his workers to probably try to long distance mine at this point, the 6 o'clock expansion. But this base is like, this isn't possible. Like, it's so easy for Wolfix to just put tanks on the other side of this wall right here and just stop the mining from ever happening.
Even if Worse mined this base out, he still wouldn't be able to win from here.
No, he needs the 6 o'clock base to 12 o'clock base and that mineral only.
Yeah.
That Wolfix is taking to even have a chance. But like we keep saying, is just like this composition is, as Protoss at this stage in the game, it just doesn't. It can work, like if you just murder the Terran army, like you get a really good engagement, you know, you stasis really well and the Terran player mishandles it, you just clear them, then you can go and kind of spiral the game out of control. But a lot of times you'll see Protoss players, when they get that kind of engagement in the middle of the map, they'll just switch to carriers because they know they have, what, five minutes before Terran can do anything, probably more like 10.
Gonna go for some big stasis here, and this will probably be the last attempt, I feel like. Well, I don't know. He still has like a little bit of a bank, some supply, but yeah, we'll see. I'm expecting a GG relatively soon. I mean, there's
Wolfix
so
has
much.
so much. Yeah. Oh my god. I didn't think he had that much right there. Yeah, I mean, even when these units are unstasis, the Protoss army is gonna.
They can't even beat that.
Yeah, he can't even do anything about this. Making a lot of high Templar. I mean, Storm is really good, but I don't think it's going to be enough. The supplies are really bad. Wolfix has got that mineral only. Killed the Nexus at 12 o'clock. Yeah, he's just getting... Okay, lots... Yeah, everything's going to melt here.
You don't think it'll be enough?
No, I don't think it's going to be enough.
Well, hang on, let's see.
Going to storm himself to death here.
Okay, you got two vultures. Two vultures.
Yeah, the Archon's going to win the game. Worse is probably just, at this point in the game, frustrated from... Wow, I can't believe he got a Nexus up down here. That's kind of crazy. During all of this, he got a Nexus up, but it's not going to live, and we're dead. We're mined out. The top right natural is almost completely dead, and yeah. Crazy game from Wolfix. Trying to do a last-minute recall here, like Primal. I've got enough energy for one more recall. I got to do it before I GG.
Wolfix does such a good job of just always having the correct amount of defense for these recalls. Like, no matter what's going on, his recall defense is set up. Something that I'm really, really bad at because it seems so taxing that I just don't want to do it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you really just need to leave enough stuff there to enable you to get to respond to it in time, right? But like before you lose your CC or something.
Right.
So yeah, and it's actually kind of hard to do in this matchup is to
it's hard.
Split the map, you know? Yeah,
well, what makes it so difficult is leaving the right amount of units to defend and still have enough units to do, you know, something else somewhere on the map. Yeah, he's gonna go for this last push up here. I say last. I'm assuming it's our last for the third or fourth time. But not gonna be able to break this position. Even a D-Matrix coming down, just adding insult to injury, and GG is gonna be called. Wolfix is gonna take the easiest game.
What a game. That was really long. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Be right back.
Alright. Which game is next? That was a grind. We got PB versus Hawk. I'm being sarcastic, we'll fix that. That was brutal. Okay, you can look at my face for a second. And PB versus Hawk is next. Noodle arms? You think so? I don't have noodle arms, for sure. What are you talking about? Ugh. Maybe not as big as yours, but...
All right.
You ready, buddy?
I'm ready, buddy.
Alright, you're gonna have
What
to
do we
do the
got
intro.
here?
We got PB versus Hawk next.
All right, yeah. So Hawk's random.
He is random and he's not telling his opponents. He is fully committed to the random.
Okay, well, Hawk definitely didn't get Zerg. Protoss. Hawk is actually really good with Protoss and Terran for that matter. I don't think he's ever like technically hit S. He was saying with Protoss. I think he was like a few points away from S, and then he said he just didn't feel like continuing. But I have no doubt in my mind Hawk could probably get S with Protoss. I mean, I know he's A with Terran as well.
Yeah. House Hawk TVP as Terran. I don't know. I feel like his TVP might be one of his worst matchups, right? Because I know he lost to my Protoss a few times playing Terran, and that's terrible.
Yeah, I've only ever seen him play TVZ,
Yeah.
so I'm not sure. But I've seen him, beat PBJT quite a few times with his Terran. And PBJT is a really good Zerg, so. But yeah, I mean, Hawk probably better off racing versus Zerg than any other matchup.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I know his Protoss is solid. Like he can play PvP and he can play PvT as well. I just only think with Terran, I think he can only play TVZ.
I mean, that would make sense, right? Like, if he's playing TVP, and that's usually how it is when you're playing a matchup. If your main race is something like Zerg, and you're playing a matchup that does not include Zerg, it's a lot more difficult. Same as like when we swapped to Terran, right? Like TVP was like the most comfortable matchup because we were Protoss players, but then TVZ was like a whole new experience, and TV2 was also pretty difficult for me to learn.
Yeah, TVT definitely easier than TVZ for me to pick up personally, because at least you get to go mech, right? So you get a lot of practice playing that way on ladder versus because you hit so many Protoss players. So, but yeah, looks like Hawk's just gonna do a Forge opening, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be Forge double cannon because this is 9 full speed, so this is the counter.
Yeah.
And like we said, or like I said, Hawk doesn't say what his race is, so PB didn't know that it was Protoss, so he was just going for 9 full speed, hoping to maybe catch him off guard. But this is pretty much the worst thing he could have run into as Zerg going 9
I'm
full.
surprised he didn't do something like overpool or 12 pool or something. Something more middle of the road. Maybe he's just worried about cheese or something coming from Hawk or.
Oh, and he doesn't even know where he's at, but it wouldn't matter anyway. Both cannons are gonna be up.
Yeah, definitely starting off on the back foot.
Yeah, and this just is the correct opener. Like whenever Zerg's going 6-ling like this, especially 9 full, you just make the double cannon. The double cannon will stop the lings. It's okay that it eats into like all your other stuff because as you can see, the Zerg's just not going to have any drones. Their hatchery's going to be really late, so you can make this sacrifice to do the double cannon. And it also means you don't have to have probes sitting in the wall, like plugging the wall or anything. You can just keep mining with the double cannons up.
Yeah, good opening for Hawk. Not so great for PB. And shouldn't he have his be getting ready to take a third base already? Is he gonna take bottom left? The main? Is that a drone down there? I know it's an Overlord. Okay.
Well, it's gonna be late because we opened 9 full speed, so his economy is just really, really weak right now.
It's gonna kill the probe here, which when I used to play Protoss, this was like I hated this, man. That's the one thing I hate about playing versus 9 full speed is that it's already so hard to scout Zerg as it is, and now you really just have no idea what's gonna happen. And it's not like you can make a zealot or two and send them out on the map. I mean, they have speedlings, so
yeah, he's actually gonna go for the third cannon because he couldn't get information. I actually don't hate it. The thing about 9 full speed that is so oppressive as the Protoss player is even though you have like the big advantage in the opening like this, it's still scary because it's like you don't know if he's rushing. He could be doing like super fast Spire, right? He might have just not made any more drones and just gone straight into lair for like crazy fast fire. He could be doing like super fast Hydra. He could just be macroing, and you have no way of
Yeah.
knowing because you got these speedlings out in front of your base.
You literally don't get any information until you get your Corsair out, which is
Too late.
quite a while from now.
It can be too late. Like if it was a layer rush into Muta, it's too late.
Yeah, or even 973, right? I mean, it's like,
Well, it wouldn't even be 973 usually off of a 9 pull. It's something that hits pretty early as well. But like
some kind of like a 2-hatch.
yeah, like a
Hydra
2-hatch
bust.
Hydra. I've seen it a few times. And
Oh,
like if you
crazy.
try to preemptively make the defensive cannons because you're worried about the Hydra, well, then you don't have enough money to defend your front.
Yeah, yeah.
Or worried about the
Yeah,
Muta.
just even making this third cannon here is kind of a big deal, right? I mean, it delayed his Stargate, and it's like it's going to be even longer before he gets any information, but he didn't know what was going on, so he kind of had to.
Yeah, and like you see this, right? Like if this had been really fast Muta behind this, he actually could have died. I don't know. I wasn't really keeping up with the scouting earlier, so I don't know if you saw something that made him know that it wasn't fast layer. I saw the probe die kind of out in the middle of the map, so I don't know if he's just hoping that it wasn't Muta, but if it had been, just continue gas into layer, Muta would have hit long before the Corsair and cannons were up.
So now all the Zergs are doing this 5 Muta build, right? Is that the meta in this matchup now?
It's always been kind of a common one. It's like 5 Muta, and they can maybe make a couple Scourges they want for sniping your Sarah. The thing that it's really good against is it kind of prevents the like speed lot move out. It forces them to get their Corsair count up before they can do that, and you can just use that as like a defensive thing and for scouting and a little bit of like maybe picking off Corsair, that kind of thing, just while you're droning up really heavy behind it.
Yeah, like when I was last playing Protoss in 2016, it was still just like, what did they call it? Sauron Zerg? Or like just 5-hatch Hydra or something, you know? They got the Spire, then they added 2 hatcheries, they made some Scourge to kill the Corsair, but they didn't usually make Mutas back then unless they were like doing some kind of a Muta build.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just good for like, it forces cannons as well as you could maybe pick off a few probes if they don't make the cannon, but yeah, like I said, it's just really good against the Zealots. And Hog did something that a lot of Protoss players should be doing. He started the cannons, he started like another cannon or two here at the front as the Corsair was going off to scout. And when he saw the hatchery, right, he saw the extra hatchery coming and stuff, now he knows that it's not going to be a Hydra buzz, so he canceled the cannons.
Yeah. Super smart. Good observation.
Yeah, and if you see those Hydras, then you don't have to make the defensive cannons in your mineral line instead, right? So there's just like a few optimizations you can do there.
Now he's getting +1 air weapons for the Corsairs. How many Corsairs is it to single shot a Scourge with +1?
It's no single shot. It's you go to 5 or 6, and it's like a couple volleys will do it this way, and this is kind of dangerous. You're trying to pull them into the cannon. You got to be a little bit careful because Corsair, when they fire, do have a little bit of a lag before they can start moving again.
Yeah,
but
it's really hard to micro Corsair versus Scourge, actually.
I think usually with +1 they go 5. I personally still like to do 6. Yeah, so he is going to go 6. I think 6 +1 is just a bit more reliable, especially if they're getting the air armor, which PB is getting the air armor.
I feel like I remember Bisu like always going to 7, but maybe I'm not remembering it correctly.
It might be 7 if they get the armor. I'm actually not 100% sure on that. But if they don't get armor, 6 is like more than enough to kind of mow them down. So we got our 6 air. We're going to start moving out now so we can start fighting against the Scourge. Gonna pick those off. And +1's going to be done.
He's going to add a lot of gateways, and then he's going to have some mid-game timing here, right? He's going to go Robo, go to, like, what is it on 2 base? You could go 6 gates at least, right?
I think it's usually 8. 7 or 8.
Go up to 8?
I want to say 8, but honestly, it's been so long since I've played PvZ, I kind of don't remember off the top of my head.
PB going to hide his mutas at the top left. Hawk almost looked like he was going to find him, but I think they... Looks like... Maybe they're going to run into each other. We'll see here. And what does PB got going on at his base?
A whole lot of drones.
Yeah, starting to make some Hydras.
Well, our natural saturation's a bit off. We're maybe slightly oversaturated main and third, but then our natural's a bit off.
Yeah, getting Overlord speed, Hydra speed, getting all of his upgrades, started Lurkers.
I mean, he's at a pretty comfortable drone count right now. Like, I'd like to see, like, another, like, what, 3 or 4 here, possibly, and then he'd be good. and then taking a fourth from there. But yeah, right now his drone count's looking fine. We're up 5 no, we're up 5 workers as probe. Sorry, we're only at 37. I guess actually not great. Should be a little bit higher.
This matchup is so interesting to me from like the Zerg perspective because it's like the only matchup that they have where they actually get to make a lot of units.
Mm-hmm.
Like the other two matchups, they don't really go that high in supply, right? Unless it's a really long game versus Terran, which most TVZs aren't that long. Zerg kind of stays like around 100 supply, like in that matchup, and then ZVZ obviously is really low eco, low supply the whole game for the most part. So yeah. Going up to 8 gates.
We're actually at 9.
9 gates, yeah. There's one in the front. Double forge. Yeah, I remember, what do they call this? It's like the Han Bong in Korean, right? Where you go with the 2-2 weapons timing, and you just all in off of 2 bases.
Is that it? I actually don't know this.
Yeah, I think the Han Bong is like, I think it means like 1 punch or something like that. But yeah, this is something that I used to do a lot back when I played Protoss. I just all in with the +2/+2, just off of 2 base and just try to win the game.
Yeah, well, he's got his Templar built. They're banking up energy. We got 4 Templar, and then we're gonna go Goons behind that. The Goon Templar tech obviously extremely powerful against Lair Tech Zerg. We do have an extra Evo Chamber on the way, Lurker Aspect, 4th base coming down. And right now, PB just kind of looking to deny a 3rd base, which it is getting about that time where Protoss does start looking to take a 3rd. They're either going to come out with a Death Ball or start taking a 3rd. A little bit of both, I guess. But he's going to build his Goon count up. This is kind of what I always tell people. You don't want much more than like 4 High Templar, because when you start making too many Templar, not only does it eat into your Dragoon count, but it also starts getting really hard to control. You end up focusing so much on trying to use all your storms that your units end up getting spread or taking like bad fights. You're not controlling them well. So you actually can make too many High Templar for a push out.
When do you get the energy upgrade? You do it on 2 base, or you gotta wait till you get like a 3rd gas?
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to get it too early, because your gas is like your main resource, especially when you're on 2 base, right? You want to get to that 3rd base. If you're on 3rd gas, then you start feeling really, really good as Protoss, because at 3 gas, you can start going like Mass Dragoon Templar, and it's just so powerful against Zerg. And that would be a good time to get the energy upgrade, I feel like.
Yeah, it really looks like Hawk is not planning on taking a 3rd.
Yeah, we're going to Death Ball for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, this Goon count's going to be huge. It kind of gets like a critical mass point that starts becoming almost impossible for Zerg to deal with. And he's going to have like full energy Templar on all these storms. Or full energy Templar, yeah, for all these storms.
Well, PBJT's got some pretty good supply, but he's got a gas problem. Because he took that mineral only as his 3rd. Now he's got the 6 o'clock base, and yeah, he's getting the gas going, but he just had a lot of minerals for a while, not able to spend them because he just doesn't have enough gas here.
Yeah.
Hawk looks like he's about to go.
Give me one second before this fight starts. Maxter and CBJ, thanks for the follows, guys. I appreciate it. And that actually finally pushes us over our 1,200 follower mark. So, super exciting, yeah?
Hell yeah. Congrats, Ozzy.
Alright, so Hawk is going to start moving out with his Death Ball. And this is going to be like almost impossible for PB to stop right now. We have a few Lurkers, just a couple Lurkers here on the high ground, but we can just go around that. The Lurker count's very low, but it's not even good against Dragoon Storm anyway.
Yeah, this army is so strong. He's got 2-1. The only thing is he's got 2 observers, which could easily be lost. But this is a huge army. Good spread from PB. There's no Lurkers here. Where's all this stuff? He's kind of coming from the back, but this is kind of a discombobulated.
Yeah, he's a little bit scattered around all over the place, but he was just trying to get all of his stuff secured. I guess he just wasn't ready for this push out. It seemed like he wasn't preparing very well for it. And like you said, he only had a couple Lurkers, but we are starting to clean this up a little bit, actually. There's just so much Storm left over, raining down on the Zerg.
Hawk's just doing really well. Just had those goons like on hold position. He's just waiting here. No doubt he's going to reinforce this. It looks like there's probably some zealots streaming across the map. I mean, you know, you see so many Protoss players, man. They go and they do something like this, and then they win a little bit, and then they start to push it with their goons, and then they lose all their goons, and it all falls apart. And so Hawk doing a really good job, just like being patient and waiting for more zealots. That was cool that he just kept everything on hold position there, and he didn't get overly aggressive.
Yes.
And he saved the most important part of his army, which are the goons. You know, it's the same in PvT. When all your zealots melt, you need to pull your goons back and save them. So you can just make zealots. They build faster, they're cheaper, they stream across the map quicker to reinforce. So solid moves from Hawk. It looks like Hawk is just going to crush here. Like, PB is floating so many minerals. Supply falling below 100. Hawk up like almost 40 supply at this point.
Yeah.
I just can't see him stopping this.
Yeah, just a pretty well executed push from Hawk. Only lost one Templar. And kind of what you pointed out, and something I harp on all the time, right, is that the worst thing to do as Protoss is to keep going after you win a fight unless you, like, crushingly win the fight, right? So he waited for reinforcements, he made sure to preserve his Templar, he kind of waited until he regenerated some energy, reinforced his army, and went again, right? So, yeah, you just can't be too overeager. Anytime you're trading into Zerg and forcing them to make units and you're just trading storms for units, it's always good for Protoss.
Yeah. Yeah, the natural's busted here. Looks like Hawk is taking the mineral only at the same time. So GG.
GG.
Okay, looks like the next match is you versus Nomad. You want to cast that one or you want to skip it?
We can cast it. We can cast it. It's fine.
Okay.
I won't talk as much because it'll mostly, yeah, I won't talk as much.
Okay, we got 4 more matches to go.
Need to save my voice anyway. You hear it starting to go?
Yep.
Yeah,
I heard it a while ago. Man, I sure wish Primal was in this tournament. He had to leave because he lives in Florida and that hurricane came, so he couldn't be in it. But we also forgot to cast Moonrise versus Exit.
Yeah, is that the plan?
Okay, a little weird for Ozzy. He's got to watch his own game here, and he knows the outcome. So you want to take the replay progress away?
I don't care.
We'll try not to judge you too hard, but Nomad, a very good PvT player. I think he said he laddered up to like 2,400 at one point. Which is actually kind of insane. He's like one of the greediest Protoss players I've ever seen. He plays like hyper greedy. He takes his third in really greedy ways and hidden bases on the map and cuts a lot of corners, which is good. I think to play Protoss, you got to play risky. I think that's the way the race is designed, honestly. Or at least that's like kind of the conclusion that the meta for Protoss has seemingly come to.
Right. I'm gonna let you talk a little bit. I'm gonna be right back.
Oh, okay. Well, you're not going to be able to move the screen around, so...
Yeah, I'll leave it here.
Click on somebody.
Well, it doesn't do that on replays.
Oh.
I just need like 30 seconds anyway. It's not going to be...
Oh, no worries.
Yeah, too bad.
I could talk about how easy Protoss is while you're gone and entertain worst. Yeah, Nomad did say that he had a lot of levers when he got up to 2,400, but I know that he's hit 2,300 at least several times laddering. So, but yeah, he was saying that when he got to 2,400, he had a lot of levers. So that's something I learned recently watching Doodle play versus Dandy. I think was it BSL? I remember seeing Dandy on ladder with like 2,600 MMR and just thinking the guy was an absolute god. Then I watched him get absolutely crushed by Doodle 2-0. Doodle made it look easy. And then I realized it's like, oh yeah, Dandy must have an insane amount of levers on ladder. Super inflated MMR. But Doodle is also a god, so... Yeah, I miss the Give Papa a Win account, so... Oh, come on. You don't think Gypsy's stable? Yep, only stable Terran is Flash. That's true.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true. But anybody can lose to Moon, okay? I used to only have disrespect for the way Moon plays the game, and now I've learned that Moon can take a game off of anybody. Okay, the guy knows how to win. He's got an X factor. Nomad's almost always going Zealot first, like we were talking about when we were watching Semi versus Exit. They both have really good probe and Zealot control, and he's going to show it off there a little bit. Ozzy doing a good job targeting the probe. That's what you want to do, Terran players. You want to just kill that probe right away. Good micro from Ozzy. Ozzy's played so much gosh damn BGH that he's got good micro with everything. Hasn't lost a single Marine yet, which is actually really good. Gonna lose one, but the Vulture's coming, so we're going to be okay. Hopefully he's got the third depot down here. He definitely needs it because the goon's here. This is one of those situations as Terran that can get really dicey. Oh, and the Zealot actually does not have that low HP. We're going to focus it down. Okay. Now we're okay. Maybe trap the goon with the SCV. No.
I tried to. A little bit late.
Yeah, it was a good move. This is still not good because the second goon's coming and we haven't started the bunker and the Marines are really, really weak and so is the Vulture. So we're going to repair the Vulture. We went Machine Shop, so there's no second Vulture coming. Hopefully we got more Marines on the way because this is just going to melt right here. Okay, trying to pull everything back to save it. Nomad kind of... I think Nomad would have been a lot better off if he just targeted all the weak Marines there, but...
I thought that's what he was going to do. That's I pulled these SCVs expecting my Marines to die, and then he didn't target. So I was like, well, now they're down here, and I look stupid.
Yeah, we're up a couple SCVs. Like I said, everyone disagrees with me, okay? And I'm not trash talking anybody here, but I've watched a lot of Nomad games recently, and I think one of his cons is that when he's microing, he doesn't make workers. And are we going to lose the bunker here? No, okay. Nomad kind of pulling away for some reason. I guess one of the goons was pretty weak, so... But Ozzy is, that's one of his pros, is he's really good at making workers the whole game, like crazy good at making workers. So we're up a couple SCVs here, which is good. It's good for Terran. And the CC and the Nexus are finishing at the same time, so, you know, pretty even game so far, for sure. I expect Nomad is going to go straight to Robo. Are you going Vulture speed? Or is it Mines? Okay, you're getting Mines. Yeah, Robo 2-gate, just standard from Nomad. Probably going to go Observatory and the Natural there. And do a little push. I like this because it's going to hit before Observers and you have 2 tanks. So this is a good idea. These goons are weak here, so if we target the weak goon maybe right away. Okay, missed the shot, but still really good. Killed a goon. And this is dangerous for Nomad here with rallied Vultures and Mines. There's no Observers. See how good the control is from Ozzy. Gonna lose a Vulture. Killed another goon. Super good from Ozzy so far. Sure wish we had a couple SCVs here. Is the mine... Oh my god. Wow, I'm shocked that we didn't kill everything here as Terran. That's actually kind of crazy.
Yeah, I think my tanks took damage from that mine too. And then
yeah,
the SCVs, I realized I needed to bring like too late, so now they're here for no reason. I actually think I could have done serious damage there if I controlled better.
Now Terran is like, if Nomad wants to, you know, he can go check and see if Ozzy has Siege, because Ozzy opted to go Speed instead of Siege here, and we lost all of our tanks, so as soon as the Observer comes out, like, Protoss can walk across the map and win the games here, like we saw Exit versus Semi on this map. Exit tried to do, like, a similar push under different circumstances and lost it, and then Semi just went and killed him with goons and Observers, so a little risky going Speed here, but it doesn't look like Nomad's gonna do anything about it. He did lose a lot of goons, so maybe he feels like he can't really move out. And
I'm gonna be honest with you, Minnie. I thought I got Siege.
Yeah, that's okay. I thought I got Irradiate last night in K-League, and I got EMP, so...
Yeah, you get it. Yeah, I thought this speed was Siege, and I didn't realize it till a bit later. Deadless, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we still don't have it because we have a gas problem.
Yeah, well,
Uh,
I thought I had it, right? That was like the big thing.
wow, hidden base at top right. I mean, I like this. I think this is cool. I mean, you're like I said, you're ahead in workers. I tried to tell you, Wolfix, uh, about this worker situation with Nomad, but he didn't believe me. I told him I was gonna send him the replays. I've made some strategies in my head for a best of 5 I'm about to play with Nomad because I've noticed this thing with the workers. Um, it's not like he cuts them intentionally. I just noticed he doesn't make them.
I actually did this because I thought I was really far behind. I did not know I was in a good position.
That is often the case with you. I'm kind of
Yeah.
curious what your thought process is behind pushing here. Like after your first push failed, like you didn't see anything that would make you feel like you should be pushing here.
Yeah, you're not wrong. This was the moment where I realized I didn't have siege, so I just started it.
Yeah, you'd be fine here with siege, but even still without siege, like this high ground is still holdable. Okay. All right. Yeah, with the SCV block, pretty sweet. Yeah, it's just too many goons. Are we gonna get lucky with the mine here? Nope. Yeah, now we're in kind of a bad spot, floating a lot of minerals and probably don't have enough factories.
No, I'm trying not to cast it too much since it is my own replay for this game.
It's okay. I mean, it's interesting to hear your thoughts. Yeah, now there's no siege and this is GG. Maybe. But for the Protoss players out there, at the 6 minute and 30-second mark when your observers come out, I think you should absolutely go check and see if Terran got siege. Because if they didn't, you can win the game like this. These days, Terrans are like opting to get siege as late as humanly possible. It's kind of crazy how much it slows down Terran's economy to like produce tanks and get siege continuously. Not that Aussie did it on purpose this game, but just for all the Protoss players out there, you should absolutely check at 6:30 if they have siege. Because they don't, you can often just win the game because of situations like this. Still up in workers, man.
That's crazy.
I mean, you're really good at making workers. That push that you made, this, even if you had siege, it was just, probably shouldn't have done it.
Yeah, I should have been scanning to see what he was doing before moving out like that for sure.
Yeah, the first attack was great, man. You
Yeah.
just needed a little bit, you just needed those SCVs with you, really. And I think you probably would have had it. Gonna do a Bulldog here, probably to finish off the game. Can't imagine Aussie's gonna hold this. Yeah, even a Zealot in the back. I mean, the SCV block is really good, man. SCVs are really good against goons. You can kind of hold like infinity goons with a siege tank and SCVs, but we have a shuttle and no turrets, no Goliath or anything, so... Nah, this isn't gonna work. Yeah, lay a mine there. Still ahead in workers, man. I mean, I gotta give you credit at how good you are at making workers. It's kind of unbelievable,
The
actually.
supply actually
Do you,
doesn't look that bad. It's just that I have no tech right now, right? I don't have my eBay and no starport.
yeah. Do you hockey your third CC, or you just screen hop? Oh, you don't screen hop.
I use the minimap, yeah.
Wow. Nomad with the spidey senses, wondering why you're staying in the game after being so far behind, and going and checking for a third base. Really good players, like we were talking about earlier when Wolfix was playing worse, man. I mean, this is such a big deal. You got to scout the map.
I saw his observer spotted too. Let's.
Yeah, still the supplies are like totally fine. I mean, you have all the SCVs you need, and
Yeah, it's crazy looking at this now that I'm. The
yeah,
game's
you
actually
can
been fine the entire game.
You can absolutely grind your way to take the 9 o'clock base here, no problem. You just need to go starport.
Yeah, I mean, an issue is that just my lack of tech, right? Is so bad.
Yeah, I mean, you're still okay because there's no arbiter or anything, right? So, I mean, you can grind right here. You just scan, there's no arbiters out. You could, wow, I don't know. This push is kind of...
Yeah, I know. Is me misreading the situation quite a bit. I just thought I was massively far behind.
I mean, you have like, like we were saying earlier, you put like a pro Terran in this situation, they can absolutely win with
Oh,
these supplies
100%.
of this army. But we
Yeah, yeah.
don't have any Goliaths or anything here is the biggest problem.
Yeah, very gas-starved this game.
Yeah, yeah. Your second gas was late. You went double machine shop.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, it looks like, yeah. Oh. Oh, wow. The storm and then the... Like I always say, Protoss players like to complain about mines, but I'm convinced mines are actually a Protoss unit, and that's the way they were designed by game designers. Still kind of decent, just wish you were expanding at the same time. Looks like, what did you... Oh, the goons chased the SCVs that you ran away.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're gonna rebuild up SCVs up here, it's fine.
Yeah, still, even now, like, you know, you should really just be taking the 9 o'clock base and you'd be fine. You'd be totally fine here. I assume you got like a starport going at home.
Nope.
Okay, but you have another command center. You just have +1 weapons, so upgrades are pretty late, but nowadays this is how Terrans are playing, with the late upgrades.
Yeah, but not this late. Obviously, like 14 minutes is way too late. I've kind of been trying this like new battle style is my thought process. Like I just want to keep fighting and like learning to like row and fight and stuff at the same time, so that's kind of what I've been trying to do.
Well, it really seems like, you know, Wolfix and I were talking about this the other day, that the map for Terran is shifting right now. At least if you watch like a lot of high-level Terrans on ladder, they are so unbelievably hyper-aggressive all game long. And I have seen plenty of games with Flash and Speed and Light and these guys getting, like, I'm talking seriously late upgrades, like +1 around like 15 minutes and stuff. But
Oh yeah.
it's because the Protoss is also really behind in tech the whole game too, because it's just nonstop fighting.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah, they're just constantly fighting, and so delaying the upgrades are just like unit control, unit control, unit control. No, Nomad throwing out a scout, I absolutely love it. He did that versus Goose the other day, and the scout is such an awesome unit. Actually, I wish it was cheaper because it's actually a really good unit. It's unfortunate how expensive it is. It's just not realistic to get them. Kind of like Ghosts are a really good unit. It's just not realistic to get them. Yeah, he just has so much supply here. There's no way Ozzy can hold. Are you gonna grind this game out like a proper Terran?
I think it's still winnable from here.
Yeah, again, showing the strength of this map. I mean, this is like, you didn't even lift your CC. You're just gonna hold here. Yeah, reinforcements coming.
Yeah, a lot of this game,
science
and it's
vessel.
definitely an
We're
issue.
We're running out of scan here, probably.
I'm out now, yeah.
Yeah.
Got one
Yep,
more.
No other. Yep. Yep. Scouts killing the STVs at top right. It's parked right behind the mineral line. That is beyond awesome. The first law. Yeah, first law. You should go watch. I'm telling you, man, like, Light, I've been watching a lot of Light replays lately. The guy is 3 tank pushing every game. And if you go watch Speed, the guy 2 facts like every game. And he's top of the ladder. And Speed's win rate in TVP is 96% while he's on the top of the ladder with hundreds of games on the account. It's incredible. But you have to have such amazing multitasking to play that way. Because it's like, it's one thing to be able to make all those units and you have like really strong units like vultures and tanks and you're using them on the map, but you need to be able to make sure you keep your base in order at home at the same time, which is not easy to do with any of the races, obviously. But it's a really high speed way of playing the game. GG, Nomad beats Ozzy. Sorry, Ozzy, you're out of the tournament.
It's alright. I didn't expect to win. Honestly, looking at it, like looking at the replay now, I see that I actually was in a much better position than I thought. Bicep flex. I feel like flexing on stream is like the lamest thing you could do.
Yeah, that's like only something I could imagine Primal doing. Go ahead and start the game. Be
Exit
right back.
does it too. Do it anyway. One time for the viewers. Would have won a magenta. Love Snow would have done it. That's true. All right, one time only. Too cool to be lame. Exactly, man. There you go. That's my farmer flex for you. And never again for the rest of my life. Oh my god. Alright, so we got Flying versus Keen of ZVZ. Those poor cows. I knew you guys were gonna make me regret it. I knew it. Ugh. Alright, I'm not the most, I think Mooney and I both, not the most knowledgeable when it comes to ZVZ, but we'll do our best. I know a little bit about the openers. Okay, well I don't know what gas before pull is, so we're just going for like super fast ling speed? Or is this lair? I'm not 100% sure, but I've actually never seen gas before pull in ZVZ, so I don't even know what this means. Actually body blocking our own drone to delay our spawning pool.
Keen is like one of the players of the Discord that I talk to the most, but I see play the least. He's not a very active player. Like at least ladder and practice games and stuff. He does join up and come play in K-League and sometimes stuff like that. I'd say for like how much he plays, he actually pulls out some wins against good players. He's obviously got some skill if he practiced more, but I don't know if he has the motivation to play much right now.
Yeah, it seems like he always wants to practice and get better, and then never actually gets around to doing it. I actually 100% get that. I'm the same way. It's like I genuinely want to practice and I'm motivated, but I also just don't have the energy at the same time, and I think he's very similar.
Yeah, I don't know much about flying. I've heard he's like fairly cheesy, which is fine. I actually really like cheesy players. I think it's like, I think it makes the game really interesting, you know? I mean, I don't want to watch somebody play like a super standard macro game a million games in a row. I think it's kind of boring, and cheesy players spice things up, so... But this matchup, I don't really know anything about ZVZ, except I feel like it's just incredibly rock, paper, scissors.
It can be a bit. So Keen actually going for it. I thought it was going to be for like quick speed with Lair at the same time, but he's actually just not getting speed. So he's going to be committing just to the extra gas for more muta. I'm pretty sure is what we're planning on doing here.
Rain, I literally don't think Primal knows enough about the game to cast it.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. The last time I made fun of Primal in his casting, he said he was going to get a real caster and started talking about Jean Insane and yeah, anybody but me, basically. Flying gonna force his way down this ramp, actually. We made a second hatchery.
This is a huge problem.
Yeah, this is a lot of lings in here. We only have, what, 3 lings
like
right now?
This is like, could be a GG. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this matchup is so crazy. Like, every decision you make with your larva is such a big deal in this matchup.
And just going down 2 drones right now is absolutely massive. Maybe gonna lose another one. Yeah, we're down 4 drones now. Something's not done yet.
We don't have our spire building. That's a hatchery, right?
It's a hatchery, yeah. I actually would like to just... I don't think he'll do it, but I almost wonder if he should cancel the hatchery. At this point, he's just not gonna have the economy.
Yeah, I mean, Flying putting down the creep colony because he probably just... You know, he knows there's another hatchery on the way. They're expecting like a ling flood as a counter, but yeah, 14 drones to 9. Yeah. Not good in this matchup at all. That's really, really bad.
The thing about canceling the hatchery is, I mean, it'll give him the money back, but then he also wants the larva. So he's just gonna let it finish. I mean, maybe this is better overall, just to have the extra larva. Gonna try and re-drone while this Spire's building here, but like you said, he's just really far behind now. Just being down a few drones in ZVZ is not... Being down 1 drone is like game ending. If you're doing the same thing. Die.
He's just gonna die here. The mutas are gonna fly across the map and it's gonna be over, right? The mutas are building. There's no spore colony. There's no nothing. I mean,
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, they
they're
might be
gonna
able to
show
get
up
some
like
damage
right.
on. Yeah, Evo Chamber coming down now. I mean, he sees the Muta's building, so he's going to go into Evo Chamber. I don't think if you're building spores,
They're,
it's going to be playable from there, though. But that's what he's
yeah,
going to go for.
they're still gonna get there before this. Well, yeah, okay, he's gonna opt to get some overlords. I'm kind of surprised, but
I'd actually almost like to
um,
see the Evo Chamber and Creep get canceled now. Um, well,
yeah.
no, he had to wait for Spire now, because he needs the Overlord.
Well, he just made a bunch of drones. He just wasted all of his. Oh, he spent the larva on drones when he realized he was gonna get supply blocked.
Yeah, exactly.
That had to have been what he did.
Yep.
Okay. Another spore. Still no overlord started.
Okay, so what Keen is thinking here is he'll just go more into economy and try to catch up that way. That's what he's trying to do. But finding the angle here to get this creep. So he's gonna clear that out, and it'll. I don't know if it really exposes the mineral line down here though. Like maybe this bottom corner. But I mean, this is a nightmare for Keen right now.
Yeah, I can't see Keen coming back in this game. I mean, 31 supply to 15. I mean, in this matchup, that's crazy. And this, I was gonna say, a spore is like the best anti-air unit in the freaking game. At least structure. It's so good. The reason why, for anybody who doesn't know, is because it does normal damage. So, like, you know, turrets and spores do the same amount of damage, right? How much damage does a spore do? Is it 20?
15.
It's 15. Okay, yeah. And turrets are 15, right?
Turrets are 20, I think.
Okay, but turrets are
explosive, I think.
Explosive, right? So turrets only deal full damage to large units, right? So
yeah, they're really good
deal
at
full damage to mutas.
they're really good at killing Moonrise carriers. That's what they're meant for.
Yeah. But they're just bad. I mean, they're bad against mutas, you know. But spores are good against mutas because they do normal damage, right? So they do full damage to everything. That's why they're so strong.
Just gonna pick up this Evo, but it doesn't really matter anymore for Keen. Keen's gonna try and spend all of his gas and maybe go for like a last hurrah with that.
Someone in the chat said that one of these guys had 2 on gas. I don't know if it was Keen and then he realized it
Keen
and fixed
did.
it or not, but okay.
He did for a while because his economy was just so low that he was just trying to catch back up on minerals.
Okay. Yeah, just a really dominating position from flying. Like I said, I don't really know much about this matchup, but obviously flying's in a super good position. Keen's caught up on the drone count, but just, yeah, flying has just been so much more efficient this whole game. Just done so much damage.
Yeah,
Has
huge
a lot more
damage.
Flying have any upgrades?
Yeah,
No.
+1 attack.
Oh, yeah, he's got +1. Yeah, and Keen doesn't even have anything going, so.
Yeah.
Gonna kill the gas. That's also a huge deal.
Bit of a slow burn. Ever since those lings got in, it's just been a slow, painful death for Keen.
Yeah, flying just gonna take his natural expansion here. Yeah, I mean it's probably hard to close it out from this position, right? When they got spores and mutas and everything, but I mean, what is he gonna have to do? Like spore his way before he can get his gas? I mean, he's got to make another Evo chamber.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing is, Keen can't come back, but flying can't kill him yet either. Eventually, he's gonna get enough that he'll overwhelm it. But
I could see why everybody doesn't want another ZVZ finals after casting this.
EMG Fly? I don't know. I don't know who EMG Fly is.
Yeah. There's so much purple just all over the whole map.
Yeah, it's really good because it's going to spot exactly this. So what Keen was going to try to go for was defensive spores and go for a counterattack and maybe potentially kill the whole economy, which is not the worst idea, but flying does have lings spread everywhere to try and spot this happening.
Yeah, and we just haven't even been mining gas like for so long. Kind of surprising how much gas we still have. It just banked up. I love Keen's ID, by the way. I think it's awesome.
I actually don't hate what Keen's trying to do here. It's the thought process makes sense. Make a bunch of spores wait for him to commit, and then counterattack and kill the whole economy. And it, I don't think it's gonna work, but it actually is very logical.
There he goes. Yeah, you called it, but it's gonna get spotted by these lings.
Yeah, it's not gonna
Yeah.
work. Like Flying doing a very good job of just having everything around here spotting like this.
Oh, but Flying seeing it decides to like turn around and
I don't think he
okay,
realized
no,
he saw
he's
it.
gonna go to top left. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, well. Alright, a little bit of indecisiveness here. Sending the Scourge and sending some mutas back home, and then I think he's just trying to catch him.
Yeah, he is.
Wow, that's a lot of Scourge. Yeah, he can kind of like corner these mutas out on the map now, and now he knows where they are. Good micro from Keen. Doesn't take a single Scourge hit.
Yeah, but the real swarm's coming now.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, what is that? Like 6? Yeah, okay. 9 mutas. I mean, we have... Okay, I can't see Keen killing all these. Okay, wow.
Okay.
I mean, only losing 1 muta to like, what, 8 Scourge. This is pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good micro, but this block is so huge. Flying actually missing the movement, but he's gonna be able to cut it off, and from here he can micro every single of these mutas down.
Yeah, they're dead if he
Decides
chases
not
them, but
to,
he's
I
not
guess.
going to.
Thought I could kill all your muta, but I'll do it later. Okay, here we go. So we're gonna moving shot down. We're gonna get a couple of these. And meanwhile, Flying just mining on the second base and everything. 23 drones to 12. Keen just desperately wanting a shot at that $300. Refusing to quit.
What is
Going
that,
into a Hydra Den now.
Hydra Den, that seems kind of crazy. Yeah, this is not gonna work. Keen is invoking his Terran inner spirit and refusing to leave the game.
You think that's why Keen hates Terran so much? Is because he's actually supposed to be a Terran player and he just doesn't want to admit it?
I mean, dude, I hear a lot of Protoss players hate on Terran, but I've never heard anyone hate on Terran as much as Keen. He really hates Terran.
Alright, GG is called. Flying's gonna take this one.
GG.
GG.
Well, I don't know much about that matchup, so I don't really know who is going to win there, but Flying's going to take it. Now, this is going to be a cool match. We got Zen versus Kava. I've never seen Zen's PvZ. I played Kava a couple games last night. He's very good, and he doesn't really play that much right now either, does he?
Sorry, who doesn't? Keen or Zen?
Kava.
Oh yeah, Kava. I mean, we saw last night. Kava kind of sucks right now, so this could be a pretty good game.
Zen looks like he's been picking it up a little bit more on ladder and playing, but yeah.
Windcast Kava game right now.
Right now. It's Kava versus Zen, and then we got G5 versus Ranged to wrap it up. So 2 more matches.
What a crazy last game, too, by the way.
G5 versus Ranged is going to be very good.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for that one. They're both really good players, and I know Ranged is really good PvP. I think he beat Semi in the LAN at Seattle. And I know Semi's also very good PvP. So we have really good Protoss players in this Discord, man.
Ranged also
really
beat he beat Nomad in the finals of the K-League individual tournament as well.
Yeah, we have 4 players in the Primal Discord that are in BSL Pro League right now, actually. So
Is Primal one of
there's
them?
A lot of good players in here. No, Primal's not one of them.
Oh wow.
I believe it's Sterling, Ranged, Wolfix,
In G5.
and G5. Yeah.
G5's not playing.
Oh, is it? Who is it?
I actually don't know.
I can't remember. Sorry, 4th player. I swear to God, it was another Protoss player.
It was Krause, I think.
No, it wasn't. Crossy didn't last very long. Okay, so it looks like a gateway opening based on that building size from Zen. Now Zen doing the probe scout where he like checked the 6 o'clock for the Overlord and then go into another base. I was just remember there was a conversation recently with the Protoss players telling people not to do that. I can't remember why. Um,
I don't like doing it because I don't know what the reason is normally, but the reason I don't is, um, first of all, I'm not super comfortable with the timing on when the Overlord would be there, but I just really like the double scout, so that I can see Lings coming anyway.
yeah, yeah. Like in TVZ, for instance, I always like to scout the base where I think the Overlord would come from to my natural. Right, that's the way I like to go first. Then I've been watching like a lot of flash replays, and he scouts the other base first with his SCV, and then he comes back to his natural with the SCV because he says that you'll always like be able to see the Lings in time with that SCV. So you go there and then you come back, and then he doesn't send out the double scout, which is to me too risky. I'm not that comfortable with my control to roll the dice. It looks like we're gonna get in here.
Yeah,
I mean, this could just end the game.
Zen saw the Lings coming, but he left one Zealot at the front and tried to body block with the 2 probes, but it has to be a Zealot on the ramp with your probes for that to work.
Yeah, we're already 2 probes down, 3. This is already like an insane amount of damage. There's no Nexus. Kava taking the 12 o'clock base. That's
What a crazy natural to take.
yeah, super awesome. But this is so annoying as Protoss to have these Lings in your base.
Yep. This is why I started playing Forge builds, by the way, is this is just so aggravating to play against. When it's a good Zerg, it's like game ending when they get in your base like this.
Yeah, good Zergs have amazing control and high APM, and this, if you're going to open gateway like this, you have to be able to micromanage all your stuff really well. Oh. All right, sending 3 Zealots across the map. This is about, I think, the best thing that he could do. Still no Nexus. Looks like he's going to put it down before the Forge, which he probably should in this scenario, right? It's not like there's Ling speed or anything like that.
Yeah, I think it's good to do. We're sending these 3 Zealots across too anyway. And it's actually going to make Kava bring his Lings back because he... sorry. Didn't have enough Larva and Lings to stop these 3 Zealots, so he's going to have to bring these back. These are going to get inside. This could potentially do some damage. The fact that it's forcing this many Lings is already pretty decent.
Yeah, so just going behind the mineral line here is going to be strong. I mean, this is really efficient for Protoss. Yeah, I like the... Okay, I'm not sure about that Zealot. He should probably put it back, but just creating... I think 3 Lings can attack that Zealot right there. You got to make some hot tea and honey next time you cast, bro. That's what all those... That's what all those death metal vocalists drink on stage. Everyone thinks they're drinking beer, but they're really drinking hot tea and honey.
I actually should start doing stuff for my voice for when I need to cast a long time.
Okay, it looks like it's going to kind of just swing into a normal game. It was a good opening for Kava. He got, like, I think it was 3 probes, and, the Nexus was pretty late, so I don't think he can really do anything about these Zealots until he gets Hydralisks, right?
Yeah, it's very annoying.
Unless he just wants to lose 1,000,000 Lings. Yeah, there's one of the natural too, so... I mean, I always wonder about this, like, it's not like you're causing Zerg any damage by just hold positioning there, right? I mean, you have to come out and fight and do something, right?
Yeah, the main thing is that it makes it where Zerg can't leave. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, okay, good point. Yeah, I didn't even think of that.
It's Zen. Love Snow. Yeah, because you have those Zealots there, like, they have to stay. And he actually did this because he thought the Lings left, so he came out and thought, like, gonna pounce on that and clean this up.
It is a scientific fact, by the way, Love Snow, that whippets reduce your eyesight, so probably want to stop doing that.
Making a lair... Dude, Kava's playing crazy. We made a lair at this like, hidden base.
Yeah, I love it. I
love
crazy play.
I've never seen Kava play like this before.
Stray bullets, don't worry, Love Snow. It's all love, dude. I just want you to live forever, man. Stop doing whippets.
Yeah, watching you down stream makes me very uncomfortable.
Wow! Getting that Ling in on the other side of the gateway was so huge, man. This is gonna spiral out of control. Okay, maybe not. Good defense over... Oh, but the gateway goes down. Tried to get a couple Lings in the main. We're gonna get a probe here.
Yeah, I mean, losing the
So
Skyway actually
annoying with
hurts quite a bit.
speed. We're kind of discombobulated as Zen here, sending our probes over across the map. No cannon in the main. This is so annoying, man. I don't miss playing Protoss at all, honestly. This was my least favorite matchup for so long. It became my favorite matchup eventually
Hmm.
as I got better with Protoss because I just felt like PVT was such a boring matchup. It's way more fun to play from the Terran side. Um, but yeah, this matchup is really, really hard for Protoss.
Yeah, like you said too, Zen's just very scattered right now with all the chaos going on. We have a
Yeah.
Spire finishing soon, but we also made Hydrogen at the front. This is probably in case he got scouted, right? And even these probes trying to come back home, getting killed now by these Lings. Super painful for
Wow.
Zen. But I think this
30.
Hydrogen is it's like a red herring, right? It's like, hey, if you scout me, you see this Hydrogen at the front, you won't be expecting the Spire. But Zen did get into 2 Corsair anyway, and he's actually going to scout before meters are out, so he will have time to get cannons up in his mineral line if he needs it. And his worker count's not that bad compared to Kava right now, but the issue is that Kava is not in danger of anything else coming, so he can just pump tons and tons of drones right now.
That's okay in this matchup to be this close in the worker count with Zerg.
Well, not no. When he was up like 7, 8, 9, it's fine. But the problem, like I'm saying, like Kava's gonna be able to just mass drone. Like he made a bunch of drones, and yeah, it's not good right now for Zen now.
Yeah, yeah. No cannon in the main either, and like we're definitely making. Okay, we're just making some Scourge and going straight to Hydra here. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I misread what we were going for. So yeah, it's just gonna be really heavy Hydra then.
Yeah, Kava is good, man. I've never seen Zen play PvZ, but it doesn't. Yeah, the supplies are just really close. It doesn't look like he's like in the worst position, but where's the
It's
Temple
pretty
Archives? Okay, there it is.
it's pretty painful right now.
Yeah,
Trying to cut the angle to catch that Corsair, not gonna get it though. So at least we keep one Corsair alive. Gonna be remaking Corsair, making defensive cannons because we're worried about a potential meta swap. But it's just gonna be tons of Hydra. We're so far from Storms, like we haven't started Storm yet, we haven't started Templar. And I'm worried he's just gonna die to the Hydras here.
yeah, it's gonna be a lot of Hydras. We have a super killer economy as Zerg here right now.
Yeah, we're on 6 hatch. But we did stop drones early for being 6 hatch, but like I said, he wants to go really heavy Hydra. The Zella move out's gonna get pushed back very easily. We don't even have to make a sunken because we've made so many Hydra.
Yeah, yeah, we need nothing here.
+1.
Zen probably just gonna turn around. Yeah, no plus. Yep, +1 just
Yeah,
finished.
just finished.
Okay. Okay, gonna trade on the ramp a little bit and go home. And then the Zerg is now streaming across the map, and there's Storm is almost done. We got 3 High Templar building, but we've only got 2 cannons, and we need more time than this.
Yeah, range is gonna finish. It's just nothing but Hydras in the production as well. I mean, he can just bust through this right now. Storm's not gonna finish in time if we go. Gonna catch these Zealots coming on the way back. They might be able to buy a little bit of time if he runs around. But I'm just worried that we're just not gonna have Storm in time.
Yeah, this looks like it's about to be over.
I mean, even with Storm, there's so many Hydras here.
well, we're just gonna move in and just murder these cannons, and there's just nothing here. Even with these Zealots coming from the side, it's not gonna be enough.
Yeah, Storm is ready, so we're gonna get a couple Storms off, but Kava also very good at Storm dodging.
Yeah, look at that. Worth it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely worth it. Yeah.
That's gonna be game.
Yeah, this is definitely GG.
13 drones behind us, just in case. And very aggressive from Kava. I don't normally see him play this way, so it's kind of interesting to see him do this. You know, 9 pull into like a hidden natural, all that good stuff. GG is called. Kava takes down Zen.
Zen is a very good mannered player. Giving him the GL. Kava's very good, man.
Yeah, Kava's
And he's
super good.
He's not super active, but you know, he's definitely hit S rank before, so he's one of the better players in the tournament for sure. All right, cool. The next match is kind of hype, dude. G5 versus Ranged. I'm excited to see this. They're both really good Protoss players. Um, like I keep saying, like I think we have a lot of good Protoss players in our Discord. Um, I don't meet a lot of Protoss players who are like really good at the game and are also really knowledgeable at the game. But we have a lot of those guys here that can not only like play really well, but explain why they do the things that they do. Um,
Yeah.
so really conceptual Protoss players that have a really good understanding of the game. So this should be a good match. And G5 has such like I haven't seen him play a lot of PvP, but he has such a like a weird style in the other matchups. You know, he does all kinds of weird one-base scout builds versus Zerg and all this stuff. And he has, you know, G5 and Range both have really good Reaver control. So hopefully we just get an awesome PvP where they kind of like mine out on two bases and it all comes down to the Reavers. Those are my favorite games. You remember those old like Bisu and Stork games where they would just like be long distance mining and not take a third, and it was just like all micro. And I saw so many games like that. They were so freaking cool, man. I hate it when it gets like really long PvP and it's like these two Protoss death balls.
Hey, we got a TVB. I like that. For the observers.
All right, so cross map, like I said, hopefully we have it like an action-packed PvP here. G5, like I said, has kind of a funky style, but I'm not sure if his PvP is just really straight up or not. I haven't seen him play it. And Range is like a really versatile guy. I've seen him play all kinds of different styles, and he plays a lot of ladder, right? So he has like a lot of really responsive builds. You can't just expect him to play super standard every time. And same with G5, they'll just throw stuff in.
Yeah, well, I think if I were to choose how I would distinguish these two from each other is that I feel like G5 does a lot of like unique builds, right? Like you were saying. And I feel like he's going to do his style, like whatever he plans on doing, he's going to go for it more or less no matter what. Whereas I think Range is a much more reactive player. Depending on what he sees, what he scouts, he'll adjust his gameplay.
Yeah, like for instance, I tried a 2-fact range the other day, which I've never tried to do to him before, and he like quickly went DTs versus me, which he's never done before.
Right.
And like I said, he's a really responsive player. He will change it up. He doesn't just do the same thing every game. Wow, G5's gonna do cross spawn scouting. You know, check in the middle of the map. Can you build in the center of this map?
I actually
or only
don't
on those
know.
white patches? I don't think you can. I think you can only build on those white squares.
Yeah, I actually don't know for sure.
Yeah,
What?
interesting. He chose to scout cross spawns.
Yeah,
Range,
and
not
he's
even
actually
scouting at
gonna,
all.
because he gets this first scout as well and he sees the opening, he's gonna skip the Zealot. I really like that from G5.
Yeah, getting down a Manor Pylon and trapping a probe too. Okay. Range gonna walk the probe out. Nice move, and we're gonna cancel the Manor Pylon. Okay.
Yeah, and with the 14 Zealot coming out, it wouldn't be that bad anyway. You do have to be careful though with this right here with the Cyber Core, because when you do get Manor Pylon, your probes try to go behind to mine the patch instead, and they actually can't get behind. So you gotta be a little bit careful when you're blocking behind your minerals like that.
Yeah, good point. I always like to put like a depot there, you know, just in case the Zealot comes, so they can't walk back there easily. But yeah, that's a really good point.
Yeah, it's gonna be 2-gate from G5 before range.
So what's the? Wow, he's gonna have so many more goons. Like
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's doing this because he was able to skip the Zealot. And he might try to turn this into like a contain on the ramp or something. I'm not entirely sure. We'll see. But it's gonna be 1-gate. Okay, I thought that was gonna be a robo for range. Sorry about the barking, guys.
yeah, I've offered to help you with that dog, but you know how it is.
Yeah.
Inside joke. Yeah, I mean, range must be going Robo here. He's 200, 200. Oh no, he made another goon. Okay. Yeah. Okay, he canceled the goon and put down a Robo, it looks like. Yeah.
Yes, there's a Robo on
Okay,
the
kind
way.
of a interesting position for the Robo.
Yeah, it's just gonna be 3-gate
Okay.
goon for G5.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's not even gonna be 3-gate Robo. He's just gonna full commit to the 3-gate, and this is pretty much worst case scenario for ranged, actually.
Yeah, especially with this ramp. You can't really get very many goons up on the high ground on your ramp here.
Yeah, so what range was checking for there, by the way? The reason he went back in? I think he was checking... Well, was he checking for range? Maybe not, actually. Maybe it was too early. I thought his range
Yeah, I
was
mean,
much further ahead.
ranged is up quite a, like, 3 workers here, so...
Yeah, G5's cutting workers to support the 3-gate. I'm just a little bit worried where... Okay, good. We are turning back around, so that's good at least. I mean, he went 2-gate Robo. Rerun... Oh, it's Observatory. Yeah, I just think right now things are lining up pretty well for G5. The thing is, we are going to be able to get... Like, range can sit defensive at least and get a Reaver out. And potentially play from there. Like you pointed out, his worker count's really high. It's just, this is going to be so many Dragoons.
Yeah, he just has to live, right? And he's going to have, like, this massive tech advantage.
The
Because
problem is
you
we
need...
don't have the support
need-
bay on the way. That's what scares me right now.
Yeah, yeah. But do you need 4-gate goon to stop 2-gate Reaver, or is 3-gate enough?
I mean, 4-gate goons, not really a thing. You can't really even afford
You don't- you
4-gate.
You don't do that anymore? It used to be a thing.
Gotcha. I almost never see that. Not even almost never. I just never see that. So as long as range can, like... I don't know. The issue is these goons are going to get... They're going to be able to take the high ground because there's just such a big deficit.
Yeah, and he's coming out here.
And if he gets on that high ground, it's unplayable. And especially if he walk out. I mean, he's going to try and circle around while these goons are coming out. Maybe potentially hoping to catch them off guard here.
Yeah, it looks like he's gonna catch. It looks like he's gonna catch ranged off guard. This is really smart with this probe. What G5 is doing.
Yeah, he's trying to make them walk forward exactly like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
And now these goons are separated. Those are free 3 goons right there.
Wow, that was super smart from G5 to use the probe like that, man. Really smart.
Yeah, he's gonna hunt these down. But ranged is
Still,
getting the
I
Reaver
mean,
behind
yeah.
this.
Yeah, and he's up 7 workers. Like, I mean, losing these 3 goons is massive in this situation.
Definitely a risk though from G5. Just, this is why I hate PvP. By the way, he did the God. I hope he doesn't go DT build.
Yeah, I know. That's why I say I just go D. Like when I off race with Protoss, I just go DTs on ladder every time, and you win half the games.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't do it in a series, but
Mm-hmm.
it works on ladder.
But this is
Okay.
definitely a best of 1 build that G5 is going for. So it's gonna be
Yeah,
for
for sure.
show battery. I mean, we still haven't made a single probe. I mean, this is so many goons. I think range is gonna die here.
Yeah, we need God Reaver control here. Okay, G5 is gonna back up. Got another Reaver on the way. I mean, 2 Reavers.
Yeah.
We could just keep making Reavers here. I mean, like, I don't know if range. Okay, range has got a probe in and sees there's no nexus. Oh, it's an observer. Excuse me. So, like, all he really needs to do is, like, he should make his own shield batteries, right? And just keep pumping Reavers here.
Yeah,
I don't know why he's making another observer.
scouting this right here because he wanted the backup observer in case it was DT coming. That's what that was for.
Okay.
But yeah, here he sees the no expansion. He sees the 380. He saw no tech. Maybe even noticed the low probe count. So range actually is in really, really good shape now. With these defensive Reavers, he can't be broke. His Nexus is going to be much faster. We're already up 8 workers. So yeah, I was really scared for range there at first, but he managed to kind of get past the scary part. And I feel like he's in really good shape now.
What do you do here? You go like shuttle speed, and keep making Reavers and go harass. Seems like it would be a good move. He probably can't afford it though, huh?
He's making more
Not yet, at least.
observer, which is interesting. Robo coming down for G5 now.
He's making a third observer?
Yeah, I don't know what the third one was for.
Alright, now this just seems kind of risky.
It is definitely
This
risky.
concave for G5 is so good. We're gonna lose the shuttle with a... Oh! Okay, we unload the Reaver.
It's a good trade for ranged, but it just seems unnecessary.
Yeah, I don't know what made him feel like he needed to do this. I mean...
Is it good? Yeah, he may have just lost the
No.
game, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting because he scouted and saw that how like little G5 had. So I don't know why he felt pressured to go here.
He just needed to sit here and keep up his the lead, his economic lead that he already had. But
Yeah.
okay, look, he's gonna hold, but he lost his shuttle and his Reavers, man. I mean, that was his edge.
Yeah, he kind of lost his advantage. I mean, we're still up like 6 workers, I guess, but now the big advantage is the small advantage. And he's gonna come back in with these 5 goons, and we only have 4 here for ranged right now. Does have the shield battery. Okay, so he's gonna be okay. But now the game's like much more even. That push out just seemed really rushed. I don't know why he felt like he needed to go.
Yeah, you know, I think like you watch pro games and they have the Reavers in that situation and they go crush, right? But you really Reavers are one of those units, like you and I have talked about this before. It's one of the reasons you and I also don't like to play Protoss anymore, is like you really have to be insanely good with Reavers to play Protoss at a high level.
Yeah, for sure.
You have to put a lot of work in with your Reaver micro and your shuttle micro to play Protoss at a high level. Like all this gimmicky stuff that Protoss can do at the lower levels does not work as you ladder up, and you really got to start to play Protoss the hard way. And I don't like having to rely on Reavers to be good with Protoss, at least not enough to keep me playing it.
So now range going, continuing Reaver production, getting shuttle speed now. Yeah, I'm just, you know, it's kind of like you said, I feel like with what he scouted, he should have felt comfortable just continuing to pump Reaver, and because the Reaver, there just was no tech for G5, so the Reaver would absolutely crush. Once he gets to like 4 or 6 Reaver, there's no way G5 could play from there.
Yeah, we make this mistake a lot, like all players do, you know, and like the Terrans, us Terrans talk about this too. It's like, why did you push when all you had to do was sit there?
Yeah, it is hard when you're in the game.
Yeah, but you know that all you have to do is sit there, right? And then you don't do it. You go and you try to attack, and then you give away your advantage, and
then you say, "Oh, I should have just sat there."
yeah, like sitting in your base and nailing your build is one thing, and then attacking is a whole nother skill set, right?
Yeah. Well, I still think it's
G5 taking top right.
Yeah, it's still slightly ranged favored right now, just because of the tech advantage, right? But supply dead even, workers dead even. Well, sorry, not supply, but workers dead even. And he might get away with this corner base. We'll have to see what happens there. But if he gets to sneak away with this, then this could be a big comeback potential for G5.
Yeah, I love the sneaky base, and just going mass goon only for G5, huh? No Citadel or anything?
Yeah, this looks like how I played PvP. This was how I got A rank. I made only Dragoons and never Reavers.
Yeah, actually, we watched Semi beat Jimin with a goon build in the round of 24 in the round robin. It was actually really awesome. Yeah, I love snow. That is what I do. That's how I beat you. Your crappy C rank Terran lost to my DTs.
Oh no.
Oh my god, we lost the shuttle with 2 Reavers in it for free. We're dead.
Not like this.
We're so dead. G5's concave is so much better.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I can't
that's
believe
crazy.
that. Yeah. That's such a sad way to lose the game, man. We've all lost PvPs from that before.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the supply is still really close, but...
Yeah, but now G5 has the worker advantage and a mining third base.
Yeah. I mean, this concave, this is better for range right here if G5 keeps coming in, but
He is gonna commit. Ill advised.
yeah, I think range should. Nah, looks like he's so hard to tell. Frickin' PvP, dude. Looks like range is gonna hold here.
Yeah, he's barely gonna hold, but now he's behind. Get
Yeah,
to
we have a
clean up
lot
a
of
fair
stuff
amount of
coming
this.
across the map, and like you said, he's got top right, and he's taking a 9 o'clock at the same time. So we're gonna be up a base. Now we're up in workers, and we just didn't get anything done with the shuttles and reavers this game, man.
Yeah, bit of a shame. Ranged, I feel like, had the better opener and everything, but then, you know, we just made a few mistakes. Two really big mistakes, right? We pushed out a little too early, and we flew our shuttle with 2 reavers into the goons. Otherwise, he wins that fight, like, super easily instead, I feel like.
Yeah, with the 2 reavers when they're even in supply, yeah, I think so too. Yeah. Well, the
But
game's gonna keep going here, and G5 is gonna get a 4th base, and now we're going Citadel, so we're probably gonna start getting into Storm here.
yeah, it's gonna keep going, but the advantage from G5 is just gonna keep getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah, Ray, and like I was talking about earlier, it's those doodads on this map outside of the natural. It's part of the imbalance of this map. Yeah, right there. That those doodads create such an issue when you're trying to push into the natural.
Alright, rebuilt our reavers in our shuttle. The worker count is very heavily G5 favored now. Once Storm gets out, I don't see how range can fight anymore. Storm
Yeah,
does be Reaver, like,
G5's
obviously Reaver is the more accessible tech, it's easier to get to, and it's just safer against a lot of things, but Storm, like, destroys Reaver again.
Yeah, Storm destroys everything in this game.
Not Archons,
ignores
or Ultralisk.
not Archons. That's true. That's true. The only 2 things it doesn't destroy are Protoss and Zerg units. That's true.
Yeah.
It destroys every Terran unit.
Alright,
SCVs are pretty good against Storm, I guess, but yeah. Okay, it looks like Range should be able to take this fight here with the Reavers.
He actually-
G5 has good spread on his Dragoons, man. He makes a concave real quick.
G5 is playing distance really well there. We actually haven't been able to fire with a Reaver yet. His Zealot's
Okay,
really
good.
good as well at absorbing Reaver shots.
Try to focus on the back. Range gonna pick it up, gonna fire the first Reaver, now the shuttle.
Okay.
Losing the shuttle, but Range gonna come out ahead here and kind of even up the supply, but
Even up the supply while down 17 workers, though, so his army
Yeah.
supply is really high.
yeah.
He
but
might can
this
keep
fourth-
pushing this advantage, though.
Does he have Citadel and
No,
Templar
he's all in on
Archives?
Reaver. We're continuing Reaver production.
Yeah,
He
wow,
doesn't want to
okay.
go without the shuttle, but there is a potential window here. That Range could get something done, kill some bases.
G5 has so many probes, man. I mean, now all G5 needs to do is sit here.
Yeah, he just has to defend.
Yeah, this high ground, this is going to be easy to hold. I mean, well, if Range does a good job with the Observer and the Reavers, he can bust this, but G5's getting Storm. He's got Zealot legs.
I mean, we'll see. There's not going to be Storm yet. With everything grouped up, if these extra Reavers can get here, it's going to
Do
be
we
a
have
big
an
flank
Observer?
row.
Okay, there is an Observer, okay. I was thinking DTs were going to be a problem here.
I mean, Ranged army is huge right now.
Yeah, there's no shuttle, though. We're going to lose this Reaver. It's not even going to fire a Scarab, and then we got the Reaver on the back that's got half health, and G5's going to target it down. It's going to go down, and now we're kind of in
But-
not so much.
Range taking a supply lead while down 20 workers, so his army is massive. He just needs to keep trying to press his advantage, but he just doesn't know.
This gateway count from G5 is getting insane, though, and like with the amount of minerals he's bringing in, I mean, his supply is about to just blow the hell up.
Yeah, Range is on a
And
time
without-
ring. But he doesn't
without
know about these extra
Reavers-
bases.
Yeah, and without more Reavers, like, he's gonna get overwhelmed by speed lots, man. He's only got 1 Reaver.
Well, he might be able to get this high ground right now. G5, not sure where Ranged army is. He's going to actually come down to meet this now. Man, just in time, too.
Yeah. see how good the Reaver control is here. I mean, there's no storm or anything, so he could force his way up this ramp. Hopefully he doesn't lose the Reaver. Okay, G5 coming down the ramp. That's kind of a questionable decision. But he's going to be successful on the right side of the ramp. Range really needs... Okay. Okay, good.
Oh, good Reaver
shot
shots.
so far. Going to target the Reaver. Going to save it. It looks like Range
I think he's
is going to
doing
take
it,
this
dude.
high ground for sure, yeah. But G5 just has so much money, man, and he's got so many gateways. I feel like the macro is about to get out of control from G5. Like, even if he loses this base, he's kind of okay, right?
Yeah, it's
and now
still
Storm
okay.
is finished, and he's got a couple High Templar.
Yeah, he's gonna go potentially for a counterattack here, or at least cutting off reinforcements.
Yeah, and I mean, Range still does not know about top right, so he's thinking like, yeah, I'm going to get this base, and I'm taking my fourth base. Meanwhile, G5's been mining top right the whole time, so... And G5's been, you know, up 20 workers for the last few minutes as well. Range has stopped making workers.
Mm-hmm. G5 not totally sure what he wants to do, actually. Kind of going partially for the counter, then turning back around. He's going to lose his Nexus, lose a bunch of probes, but still up 10 workers, and this is going to get stormed to death.
Yeah, exactly. This is going to melt right here. First storm goes down, and we got storm on the back end, too. This
So
is
three-way flank. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it makes an Archon. Classic. Yeah, now that's... This is really bad for Range now. I mean, he's got a speed shuttle that flew in there. Okay, he turned it around. Remaking the Nexus. And G5's still on 4 bases. I mean, he lost all those probes, but he's still up on probes. And now Range is going to see this base
top right.
realize what's been going on the whole time. And G5's also taken bottom left. I mean, G5's taken Nexus like Flash takes command centers this game, man. It's incredible.
Yeah, and it really hurts to see this fully exposed base up here for this entire time as ranged. Like, he just cleared this base out, he was feeling pretty good about it probably, and now he realizes, oh, there's another base here. He is going to fly the Reaver up here now. G5 does have this army coming.
Oh. This is so satisfying, watching probes explode.
Ooh,
let's go.
Good target.
Yeah, this is what we want to see. I want a shirt. I want a shirt with that graphic on it. Just probes exploding from a Scarab.
But does Range survive this counter push?
It's got 3 Reavers, but this is a lot of stuff, man.
There is no storm, actually.
Yeah, this is just so much stuff. Still got the shield battery in the back. Let's see if he uses it. Probably not. There's a lot going on. It looks like this is just going to be GG, though. G5 is just going to overwhelm him.
Yeah, just the economy kicked in.
Ah, too bad, man. I mean, like you said, Range had a really good opening, you know? He just kind of made a little bit of a blunder, deciding to move out when he didn't have to. And that's going to be GG, man. He found that top right base too late. And, yeah, GG is called. Cool.
GG.
Well, we made it through 16 players. There was another match, but it was Pandora versus Love Snow, and they couldn't work it out. So, yeah, I think we're going to cast this again next week. We're going to be down to 8 players.
Yeah, we'll do the, I guess we'll do the semis next week, and then we'll live cast the finals.
Yes, of course. Yeah, I'm really excited to see who we've got in the finals. So let's just read this off really quick here for everybody. Okay, so we've got... I'm just going to read out the next matches here for everyone on the stream. So, like we said, everything in the tournament is best of 1, and all the matches are randomized. So there's no bracket, right? So I just took everybody that won, put them in a randomized, generator, and randomized the next round. So the next round's going to be Hawk versus Kava, Nomad versus G5, Semi versus Wolfix, and Pandora versus Flying. So Hawk versus Kava is really cool because Kava is one of the best players. I mean, obviously we're down to like the core of the best players in the tournament so far. But Kava is a really high level player, and Hawk's kind of like a favorite to win this tournament. But with Hawk playing random, this is like the first time I've seen an opportunity for someone to knock Hawk out of the tournament. And then Nomad versus G5 is also really good because G5 is also a favorite to win the tournament probably, right? But Nomad could definitely take one game off of G5 for sure. Absolutely. That could happen. Semi versus Wolfix, I could see going either way.
Yeah.
And sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just agreeing with you. Go ahead.
Yeah, Semi versus Wolfix, I could see going either way. Both good players. I've seen Wolfix beat Semi many times. Semi's very good PvT. I have no doubt he could take a game off of Wolfix or beat him in a series even.
Mm-hmm.
And then Pandora versus Flying. I know Pandora is not really active right now, but when he is active, he told me he hasn't been playing much the last couple weeks. His TBZ is like God mode, but Flying did beat Pandora in the round robin to get into the tournament. So
one thing to keep in mind too with Flying versus Pandora is, while Pandora's TVZ is like super good, playing against Flying is not like playing against a normal Zerg. He does the weirdest stuff.
Yeah, Pandora is used to playing really standard Zergs.
Yeah,
right? Plays
exactly.
a lot versus PBJT, who's a very standard Zerg player. So this will be really cool. And the map is going to be Minstrel. So for the maps, we randomized those two. The first map was Polypoi in the round robin, which we haven't cast, which we're not going to cast. But then this map was Pantheon, so we just took Pantheon and Polypoi out, and then put the other maps left over in the randomized generator, and we came out with Minstrel. So we have a really high likelihood of the next round after this being Monty Hall, which is going to be really, really interesting. You know, a Monty Hall's final would be insane, right? Except it's going to be, we'll change the maps for the finals, but yeah. I hope we get around with Monty Hall. It'll make for some really exciting games.
Yeah, that'd be super interesting to filter out the semis with Monty Hall.
Yeah, well, thanks for casting, Ozzy. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, no problem.
Sweet, I'm out of here. I'll see you guys next time.
See ya. All right. I'm going to head out because my voice is completely gone. But this was fun. I had a lot of fun. Good stuff. Okay, we'll be back next week with more of this. I don't know if I'm going to be back on playing any tonight. We'll see. I probably won't since my voice is gone. But I'll at least be on playing StarCraft tomorrow. BGH or ladder or something, we'll see what we feel like. But thanks for watching, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the games. Hope you enjoyed the